It's time for Virtual Radio Row, brought to you by Gilcliff, the undisputed clean energy drink champion of America, and Beyond. Go to gilcliff.com. And Immune Fresh boosts immunity, freshens breath. Go to immunefresh.com. Make sure you register at brinks.tv to win prizes now. Registration is free. Go to brinks.tv.
Welcome in to a very special edition of Against the Spread. I'm Paige DeMacos here. I've kicked all the guys out just like I did yesterday to kick things off by myself, right? I told Courtney we're celebrating National Girls and Women in Sports Day, but we were going to go the whole week long so that I could just start off the show just by myself. But the most important announcement that I have for all of you is that we are giving away some amazing prizes, okay? And the only way that you can be a winner is if you go to brinks.tv and you register and sign up for all of the prizes that we are giving away, including now cryptocurrency that is available to us that Chris is going to break down because Chris is the crypto maniac, okay? Chris Schubert behind the scenes, he's like been driving me nuts about crypto for like 3 years, right? And this is the one time he happened to be right, okay? Most of the time he's wrong. This is the one time he happened to be right about this. So we're going to have to bring him on as the crypto expert. But I'm excited to have all of these amazing prizes from all of our different sponsors. But again, the only way you can win is if you go to brinks.tv. So as I told you yesterday, just like my dad taught me, you don't want to be a loser, right? You want to be a winner. The only way you can be a winner is if you go to brinks.tv. So make sure you do that. Now, let's get into the show. Chris, Jamie, Jake, gentlemen, come join me. We have plenty of things to get into. But the first thing we're going to do is get a live hit from our guy, Jake Arians, who is in Tampa. Jake, welcome. We're happy to have you. You're rocking a Gilcliff hat. My man, smart. The branding is on point. How are we doing today?
The goat hat follows me everywhere. Reporting live from Tampa. I'm fantastic. We got a house full of people. Finally, we weren't allowed to see anybody until today. So families coming in. People are landing at the airport. Text messages going off. Food just got delivered. I'm fantastic, but I'm glad to be joining you guys for a little bit.
Okay, so there's a very important thing here, right? You have a 95-year-old grandmother that is there, and I need an update on her because she has become an absolute celebrity this week. Every national media outlet is trying to check out what's going on with Nana. So that's the most important thing off the top. How is she feeling, right?
Graham is fantastic, which means Dad's fantastic. He's so happy that she's here, the family's here, getting to hang out. He's actually hanging out downstairs while the grandkids are running around, just relaxing, getting away from it all. So he's fantastic. Graham said she's ready for her interview. If they want to interview her live in the stands, she'll be ready.
Oh, we love Graham. We love Graham. You know, if she's got any, fun little prop bets she wants to get into, tell us the Gatorade color she's interested in. You know, you never know. We gotta get that insight.
There happens to be a few pairs of Jordans that got delivered to the house. So showing Dad what came for him, and Graham goes, "I'll take a pair of those and an 11." I was like, "I'll make the call, Graham. We got you." Graham wants some J's.
Live on the show.
Everybody know Graham's got swag too.
Listen, here's the thing. Samantha Baker, behind the scenes, my girl at Jordan. Graham is in. She needs some J's. She needs to be fitted. We know this. We know what's happening here. So live on the show, Samantha, I hope you're watching. If not, I'm going to send this clip to you later to let you know that Graham needs J's, okay? If a 95-year-old wearing Jordans isn't a walking advertisement, I don't know what the hell is, right? Okay, that is like the most incredible thing that I could possibly think of in a Super Bowl winning moment, right? Graham with some confetti and some J's. I need that to happen really, really bad. But we won't make the whole show about Graham. We won't make the whole show about Jordans, even though I very, very well could. Jake, I want you to talk to the guys here. Let's just talk the game a little bit before you jump off and we get into all these prop bets, right? So just want to chat with you about that. And what are you thinking about this game?
So really, the more I think about it, I think the biggest advantage for the Bucs is defensive line against the injured offensive line of the Chiefs. The more I think about Eric Fisher being out, and Patrick Mahomes is only 3-3 without him. I think he's only lost 3 regular season games, period. So to only have Eric Fisher and be 3-3, to me, that's huge. No Schwartz on the right side. And then Vita Vea being back, we've talked about. how much that frees up JPP and Shaq on the outside to really be able to rush the ends. And then you have extra guys in coverage. They don't have to bring the blitz. We all know Mahomes is spectacular against the blitz. You want to do it periodically and sporadically, bring Devin White and bring an extra guy, but you don't have to. And I think that's a big advantage for them. The Bucs have scored 30 points in all their playoff games. You could argue this is the worst defense they've played. So I think they get to 30-31. And then it's just a matter of, can they get that turnover, and can Brady go put that 30 up, and can this defense rush the passer? I think that's the big advantage for them. But we've talked about Mahomes is the ultimate outlier. The ultimate, doesn't matter how good you play defense, he can beat it. You just got to get him on the ground when you get a chance to do it. I think they'll get it done.
Okay, so I have to know, you're not going to be making picks with us today, right? You're just going to be chilling for a couple minutes here at the top of the show. We know if you were picking, you would pick the Bucs. Okay, so if the Bucs are winning this football game, right? I know, shocking. I know. If the Bucs are winning this, not in this one, right? Because there's only two options, and it's the Super Bowl. They deserve to be here. It's not really a homer pick.
Well, the 20th time Jake has picked the Bucs this year. It's crazy.
It's incredible.
I'm really good against the spread picking the Bucs, Jay.
Hey, listen, they were 11-5. At the end of the day, they won more games than they lost, so it was better to pick them than it wasn't. But if they win and they hoist the Lombardi, and it's not Tom Brady as the MVP, who would be an MVP coming from the Buccaneers? Because the obvious one is the quarterback. So I'm not interested in the obvious. I'm interested in a potential outlier scenario who you think could be an X factor in this game.
I think of the big names, Chris Godwin has been spectacular in the playoffs. He's great in the red zone. He's got the chemistry with Tom. If you want a big-time outlier, I think Cameron Brate could shock some people. I think this game plan could really be a lot like Washington, where I think he had 80 yards, but Tom really loves him in the red zone as well. Kansas City struggled against tight ends, and you got two really good ones. So if they're going to play a lot of 12 personnel, which they've played in the playoffs and really since they came out of the bye, I think Cameron Brate could be a long shot. I'm sure those odds are nuts. But Chris Godwin would probably be my favorite pick if it's not going to be Tom.
I like that one. Our girl Carmi that joined us early on in the week, she was kind of breaking it down and giving us some X factor type of scenarios. I really like that one. If there's any chance, right? I saw my guy Will Compton, right? He's already trying to get the Levante David scenario going out here. He and I are in total agreement, right? I think there's an outside chance that Devin White could play the game of his life and maybe end up as an MVP. What type of performance, right, would a defensive player have to put up to win an MVP in this game, right? Give me some stats, give me some scenarios that could play out where you might get a guy like a Devin White or a Levante David that could win the MVP.
I think two other guys would be Shaq and JPP. If you go back to that Packers game, and you're going to rush the passer like that, if you get a couple sack fumbles and you have a Von Miller type Super Bowl, you could pull off the MVP there. The thing with Levante could have 15 tackles, 5 tackles for a loss, a batted pass, and a fumble recovery, and you don't really realize he's in the game because Devin's the one that blitzes. Devin's the one that picks up all these fumbles and runs them back 30 yards. Devin picks off the ball. Levante's like the reason he's so good is because he's so good. He doesn't make any mistakes. He doesn't get penalties. You never know he's there. You just know he's making plays all the time. Devin's the one that makes all the splashy flash plays. And that's what it takes in the Super Bowl to get the MVP. I mean, Jamie and I are in agreement. Damian Williams should have won the MVP over Mahomes last year. Mahomes made the splashy flash plays at the end, and he's the quarterback, so he got it. I think those outside linebacker pass rushers have a chance, but I think Devin's probably the favorite on this defense. Another key name to pay attention to, Antoine Winfield back playing. A guy that blitzes, makes a ton of tackles, has a chance to make a big pick. That'd be another long shot I'd pay attention to if you're talking about defensive guys. And the Super Bowl has a history of safeties winning the MVP.
Yep. Listen, I think there's an outside chance that there could be a defensive guy. I'm going to let you out with this. There's this weird prop bet, right, that involves nostrils and head coaches. Because it's your dad, okay? What makes your dad's nostrils flare? Like, what is the scenario that plays out in a football game? If you're going to say that, say it again.
Officials. That's easy. You can turn it over. He's not nostril flaring. There's not a whole lot going on. Officiating, it could be like 13-12 to go left in the first quarter, and it's the middle of the first drive. Somebody's getting some expletives thrown their way, and the nostrils are flaring when we talk about officials. Absolutely my answer.
That is exactly where I thought you would head, and that's perfect. Listen, it's one of the randomest prop bets, and there's absolutely no chance you can predict what's going to happen and how you can get there. But I knew if there was one thing that was going to set pops off, it would be officiating. So that's the easiest way to get that prop bet to cash in.
That's a prop bet for cash in that one.
Yeah, that's it'll happen at some point throughout the weekend. Any parting thoughts, Jake, Jamie, Chris? You guys got any parting thoughts here with Jake as we send him back to have fun with Graham and everybody else that's there in the Arians household?
I do have a quick parting thought actually for Jake, because as you mentioned, Paige, this is the second time Cameron Brate's name has come up in the MVP conversation on this show. Our friends over at Bet Online have him at 100-1 odds. Same thing with Lavonte David, by the way, Paige. So 100-1 odds. So if you're looking for something to put like $5 on and just have just a little fun with it, that might be the bet, because that's the second time we've heard that this week and unprompted.
I got one thing for Jake as we leave here. 1 to 10 scale. Where's the hype train at, Jake? Where has it left the station? Are we full 10? Are we out of here?
It's picking up some serious speed.
There we go.
Station, man. The checklist is dwindling of stuff I have to take care of now. This is the last show, the last interview. Time to start chilling. But yeah, the train has left the station and it's starting to pick up like European, like real train speed. We're going to get going here soon.
We're on the Euro rail. We're off.
There it is.
The train is happening.
Yes.
The hype train is here. Jake, we're sending you off in good spirits. Take all the good vibes. Tell the fam we love them. Enjoy the weekend and go Bucks. I think there's nothing else that we could say.
Go Bucks. Have fun. Take care, guys. Thanks.
Bye, Jake. Guys, it was I love the Cameron Brate stuff, man. Like totally unprompted. And I know obviously he was on the show with Carmi, but that's such a fun outlier, right, Jamie? When we talk about like you like to pick bets that you know you have a lot of upside on sometimes, right? Like it's like, yeah, I know I'm going to go outside the box here, but this is something where if it hits, I'm going to cash in, right? You're not going to take every favorite bet because there's no fun in that. You want to have a little fun. So I think the Cameron Brate scenario really is fun, Jamie.
It is. You got to keep an eye on the injury report a little bit. It's listed as officially questionable to play. So it's something you have to kind of keep an eye on. But, you know, it's interesting as you start to look at some of these MVP value and odds, because I think it's at 66-1 range. It has a lot of those really interesting players. You start to look at Shaq Barrett and JPP, as Jake mentioned. You look at Antonio Brown. You look at Tyrann Mathieu. Like you start to look at players that could make major impacts on this game that just aren't the obvious quarterback examples or or running back examples. You know, if you just look at, again, it's how do you want to bet? Are you looking for are you betting big and trying to get the most likely return, or are you betting really small, trying to get the biggest possible return while also like maintaining some level of reality? And I mean, we've seen it before. We've seen didn't Coney Ealy win a Super Bowl MVP or was in that conversation? Like, I mean, we've seen Malcolm Smith. I mean, we've seen some players that on the defensive side, if things get weird, the problem is we all expect this to be an offensive showcase, which means somebody or somebodies are going to have just massive games you just can't ignore. But you never know. Things can get weird. If you want to take a shot there at 66-1 or 100-1 on a Cameron Brate or Lavonte David, I mean, there are worse ways to spend $5.
Yeah, there are definitely worse ways to spend $5. I could think of a lot of them, quite frankly. But what I want to talk to you guys about right off the top is the fact that the Buccaneers are an underdog in this game, right? They are a 3-point underdog. Underdogs have covered 12 of the last 20 Super Bowls, so a nice little stat for you guys at home. But the bigger thing here is there is a lot of money that has come in on the underdog, right? We've got a mattress store owner that put $3.4 million or some outrageous number,
okay.
Right? Oh, yeah, we're doing this again, Chris. There's craziness that's happening. There's been the biggest bets of the week. They're all coming in on the Bucks +3. So, Jamie, my Vegas insider, what does it make you feel like? You got to have a little confidence, I guess, in that underdog if that is where the money is heading, or is it just because it's Tom Brady, which has been a thing in Vegas for a very long time? What is the scenario here that is playing out in Vegas for what is obviously the #1 gambling weekend of the year?
It's interesting because I think the initial reaction when you see these types of bets is that these people know something we don't. I will say history tells us that books that take these big of bets, these large of amounts of money, they don't take them from sharp players. They take them from casino VIPs. They take them from celebrities. They take them from people they have a relationship with. They don't typically take them from their sharpest bettors, not at this level. They might take those mid-level bets, six-figure bets are pretty common for players of that caliber. But these seven-figure bets, these 3.4, these $2.6 million ones, they're typically not taking it from their sharpest players. So I wouldn't read too much into it in terms of like, oh, this means somebody has the advantage. The sharpest players don't usually let you know what they've bet on, and B, sometimes bet to move lines in other directions. And they're not betting millions of dollars, usually because the books won't take it from them because they're worried about liability, even in such a highly betted market like Super Bowl Sunday is. But it is curious. It is curious to see that right now, as we are recording this live, I believe the top 4 bets that have been reported to us have all been on Buccaneers, either +3 or +3.5.
I like it. Listen, if the Bucs are, I don't think you can ever feel bad about putting money on Tom Brady as an underdog, right? At a certain point, you have to feel pretty good about the odds. You have to feel pretty good about the path that this team has taken to get here. And you have to feel pretty good about them all playing at home, right? That's also a factor. And whether or not, I know we've talked about it nauseum, it feels like the fact that home field doesn't matter as much. But as you so eloquently put on our earlier show, Jamie, would you rather be playing at Arrowhead? Like, would you rather this game be playing in the cold in Kansas City? Because that would be the alternative if we were talking about home field. And I think the Tampa scenario, obviously, now there may be some rain, which could impact the game. But more than likely, if you're looking at this, it's obviously not going to be snowing or sleeting or have any significant impact on this game, which I am very happy about. But I want to get our guy Chris in here. Okay, I want to get our guy Chris in here. And how we're going to do that is we're going to talk about all the off-the-wall props, okay? We've got a lot of them. There are many, many of them. But the first one we're going to talk about is the Nostrils one, okay? Because I brought it up to Jake. I brought it up to Jake because I wanted people to think about that prop is so strange, right? It's such a strange bet. But to give the context around how this could be seen from Bruce, that was exactly what I wanted Jake to do. Because if there is a bad call, they will go to Bruce and you will potentially see his nostrils, right? But for that to happen, the mask has got to come down. So he's got to be really mad, right? Like the mask has got to come down or the face shield can't be all fogged up. There's a lot of proximity to this bet, right? So Chris, who do you think? We've got two old guys, right? We've got Big Red and we got Bucko Bruce. We got the two old guys, the two of the best, right? Andy Reid and Bruce Arians on either side. I really think you could see this from either one, right? But which one would you lean if you had to choose?
I don't have a fancy stat here that shows how many times during a game the nostrils have come out for either of these coaches, right? There is no fancy like ESPN stats and info, Football Outsiders. I don't have a fancy number to judge this. I don't know who's more likely to get angry at the officials first, right? Like that's basically what this boils down to. And listen, I've seen Bruce get a little angry at an official once or twice in the past. So I feel like he's probably got to be the odds-on favorite to be the guy who pulls that mask down and starts yelling at some official early in the game. But I think this prop bet in just big picture just should explain the entire 2020 NFL season, right? The fact that this is something that we can bet on, that we can discuss here on this show, should just show you the 2020 season in a little bit of a time capsule. Okay,
so Jamie, but this prop bet, the nostrils, okay, Bruce Arians is a favorite here, minus 250. Right, he's a heavy favorite here because this is not a surprise. If you know anything about Pops, if you know anything about BA, him and the officiating crews have had their battles. Okay, they've had their battles in pretty much every game he's ever played in or coached in ever. So this would not be a big surprise to see him get pretty worked up here early on, Jamie.
No, and I got a stat for you. It's called Give an F Index, and I could tell you that Bruce's is extremely low. So the more likely option to just pull down the mask and start a WWE promo style just tirade on the official on what could literally be a 5-yard penalty is more likely to be Bruce Arians. I imagine Andy Reid will be a little bit more when he is upset, even though the Chiefs are actually more likely to be penalized more in this game if you look at those odds. I think he's a little bit more cordial with it. He will yell from behind the mask. Well, Bruce Arians wants you to know how mad he is at you and will demand his answer any way possible. And I think just the natural reaction of him just to grab and pull down the mask for a minute and yell at the officials while the cameras are there and then pull it back up and finish the argument, I think that's way more likely with him than Andy Reid.
That is a spectacular index that I was not prepared
Great
for,
job.
right? The give and F index, that is so accurate, though, because if you know anything about BA, it doesn't matter if it's a 5-yard penalty, right? Like every penalty is the same penalty to him, right? He's equally as upset no matter what happens. It does not matter. He's pissed off, and he's going to lose his ever-loving mind, and that's in a regular season game, okay? So now we're talking about the Super Bowl, right? So I feel like we could really get an epic tirade from Bruce. I'm kind of rooting for it.
Can we get a trademark started on Jamie's new statistic here? Can we get the trademark working on this now, everybody? Because I think Jamie came up with something there that we should be using going forward. So great job, Jamie.
I love it. The give and F index. Give and F index. All right, before we toss to our interview, because we've got Chris Redman coming up with John Brinkus, and they're going to come in here pretty soon. I want to talk to you about, one of the more bet on props that happens. And it is one of those that you could flip a coin, right? Right? Because there's no rhyme or reason. Okay. There's no rhyme or reason whether it's going to go heads or tails.
Flip a coin, you say.
Flip a coin, you say. But there is some statistical, analysis to be had on what has happened in the past and what kind of coin they're going to have and all that stuff. This is the breakdown that we get for this.
Please.
This is the breakdown we get for this. So, Jamie, what do we got here? You going heads or tails, and you got any insider trading for me?
I'm going to go tails here. I think at BetOnline right now, it's minus 105 both ways. So fairly reasonable odds on that point, or I should say fairly reasonable juice at that point. Super Bowl history tells us it's more likely to be tails. 53% of coin tosses have been tails.
That's not how coins work, guys. Coins don't work that way.
But here's the thing.
You don't look at previous coin flips and go, oh, this one's definitely going to be tails. That's not how
do.
coin probability works.
But Chris, as somebody that as smart as you knows, Chris, a coin flip is not 50-50.
It is not
as much as anybody wants it to be.
Yes, I agree.
And that's if just a regular quarter. They ain't going out to midfield and flipping a nickel. Okay, they're going to have a very special
type thing.
Yeah, they have a very special coin made, and if we are to assume that it is similar to other coins that have been made for Super Bowls in the past, the weight distribution of this piece of currency, Chris, might lend there to be a significant advantage, slight advantage one way or the other. So if we're literally betting on the flip of a coin here,
and
what you're doing, I'm going to go with tails.
You're going to go tails. Chris, what kind of great analysis you got for me?
No, you're flipping a coin, folks. Like you're flipping a coin in the air, and it's either going to land on heads or it's going to land on tails. Just pick one. Just pick whatever you
pick one.
Wake up that on Sunday and just whatever you're feeling, go with that one. Okay? I don't know what it's going to be. I'm going heads just to be contrarian to Jamie. So if I'm right, then I can throw it in his face later.
Listen, Chris, if you're going to stay on the show here, okay, because at the end of the day, I hold ultimate veto power to kick you off. Okay, if you're going to stay on the show for the rest of the show, your analysis cannot be what it just was. You got to give us more than that.
Well,
you got to give me more juice than that. I get it. This is one of those ones. It's the flip of a coin, but you got to have an inclination. You don't feel one way or the other. You got to pick a side. This is sport.
Tails never fails, right? I mean,
should I go find a coin, everybody? Is that what I should do? Should I get up from the set right now?
Sure, go ahead.
Yeah, and we'll. I'm going to flip a coin. We need a coin,
and we'll just do it a couple. Let's do it a couple of times during the show and see how often
it lands on tails. We're going to do it 5 times.
Yes, okay.
5 coin flips, okay. And if we get 3 of one, then we're going with that one, Chris.
Okay,
that is what we're going to do.
I'm fine with that. But see, that's analysis. Now we're doing an experiment here. This I'm on board for.
This is a lot of experimentation, people. This is what we are doing on the show to make sure you get the best bet you possibly can. Okay, we are going to flip a coin of which we do not know what Jamie's got.
All right, Jamie, what did you come up with?
Yeah, what kind of coin you got?
What kind of coin?
It is a quarter.
Okay, what state is the quarter?
This is half of my net worth. I'm showing you on camera right now.
What is the state of the quarter?
It is. What is the state of this quarter? This is riveting radio right now.
Yes, this is fantastic.
The U.S. Virgin Islands.
Wow.
Oh, hell yeah. This is a great one.
Great work.
So,
great work. All right, go
That's
ahead.
what I was ready for.
So, all right, toss number
this
1
a
of 5
live-
that we're going to do on the show.
Yeah, coin flip number 1.
All right. We kind of
What drum roll, please?
It is tails, Christopher.
It
So
is tails.
once again, you lose.
No, that's just
stop the count.
You walked away. No. While you walked away, we decided we're going to do this 5 times. So that's
So I
one.
heard you. The audio didn't go away.
Oh,
I
okay.
have decided
All right,
I've
so-
already won.
So we're doing that. We're doing this 4
This
more
is not
times.
this is not a best of 5 series. It's not a best of. This is not hockey. This is not basketball. This is not the ALCS, Christopher. This is the Super Bowl. You got one shot at it, Chris. And the one shot, it was tails. I win. You lose again. Deal with it. Deal.
You got a
Win.
loser symbol, Chris. We're sorry, pal. You didn't realize me and Jamie were going to team up on you. We're definitely still flipping the coin at some point throughout this process. Really,
Only
to
for you,
probably
Paige.
pick on. Yeah, that's exactly right for me. So we can pick on some other props because there are plenty of them that we also want to get into. Here's another one that I wanted to bring up because listen, if there's anything you know about the TDN Fantasy Show that Jamie and I host together, right? And Chris is now producing. We like to talk about John Gruden, okay? We like to talk about the Raiders, okay? Jamie's been sort of a heel towards the Raiders for a while, but he's been right. He's right. I mean, you can't really be a heel if you're right all the time, right? Like he's been
maybe.
he's right about it. So it's less of a heel, right? So I understand that Raiders fans want him to be wrong, but he's been right about most of the scenarios, right? So the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, obviously the last time they were in the Super Bowl, it was John Gruden. He was the head coach. The media love themselves some John Gruden. Right? They love John Gruden. They love to talk about him. He's friends with all of them. So the clip of John Gruden to be shown in this is, it says the clip of John Gruden be shown Super Bowl 37. Yes, minus 130. So the favorite is that it will be shown. I cannot believe that is not more juiced. I think there is no chance we get out of this game without a Gruden clip, Jamie.
They always love callbacks. There is a lot of, just in general for a football game, there's a lot of wasted time, but particularly on Super Bowl Sunday. So for the big game, to me, I look at this and I say, there's no way they're not showing Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes winning last year. What are they going to show for the Buccaneers? They're going to show the only time they've ever won the Super Bowl with John Gruden. This would be shocking to me. Like I thought a really good bet here would be, will they show John Gruden more, or will they show Tom Brady's Patriots Super Bowl wins more? That would be a fun little prop there. I would be shocked if we come out of this game without seeing that, because if you're going to talk about the history of the Buccaneers and Super Bowl history of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, it can't be done without showing the John Gruden clip.
I can't imagine that we're not going to see this clip. Like, that's how strongly I feel about this. So, Chris, you got to be, are you the voice of reason here? Or are you with me and Jamie that there's just no chance that they're not going to show this Gruden clip?
So I had a very semantics related argument to you guys when we were talking about this earlier. Is it just depends on the definition of clip, right? I mean, are they going to show me a picture of Gruden holding up the Lombardi trophy? Sure. Can they show me a picture of Gruden on the sideline in that Super Bowl? Sure. If that counts, if that's what makes this bet cash, then I'm with you. But if you're asking me for a full video clip of John Gruden maybe coaching on the sidelines, I don't know if we get that far. But like Jamie said, when this game launches and it's Jim Nantz and Tony Romo, they are going to discuss the history of these two teams in the big game. And the only way you're talking about the Tampa Bay Buccaneers is you have to show John Gruden. Like, it's the only way you can do this. So I am with you guys, but it comes down to what we mean by the definition of clip.
Okay, guys, so here's an interesting thing to think about then. Does it matter because I agree with you, Chris, you definitely want to see, because clip to me means video clip. I don't think
that was my initial reaction as well. Yes.
Yeah, I don't think you can just be showing the photo. I think you have to have a video clip here. So does it matter? Should we go back and see if that Super Bowl would happen to be broadcast on CBS? Because then they own the footage. Then it's definitely being played. Because if it's not on CBS, then they have to buy it from another broadcast entity. So if it was played on Fox, or it was played on NBC or any of the other ones, that just popped into my head right now, because that is how broadcast TV works. If CBS was broadcasting it back then, they own the footage.
It was not CBS.
Now it gets interesting.
Yeah, it was ABC. ABC had that game.
So they would have to acquire that footage to then play it during the broadcast. Interesting anecdote. It's interesting.
The big game wasn't on CBS last year, was it? So,
Nope.
I mean, they're going to show that.
Oh, they have to pay for it all, for sure.
It's like, are they going to act like,
yeah,
I don't think they're just going to show stills the entire game. Zoomed in stills like this is like, iMovie. Like it's the freaking big game. They paid a lot of money to get there. They ain't going to be worried about paying a little bit extra money, putting a little bit more cheese on that Whopper to get to be able to show the video rights that they want. Come on.
I think I'm pretty certain that we're going to get Jon Gruden. I'm pretty certain about this. This is the one prop bet I'm going to stick my flag in the ground for, and I'm going to say we are getting that. Okay. We're just about to get to our interview, but I want to get you out with this, guys, before we come back. Gatorade colors, right? Gatorade colors.
Liquid colors.
Liquid colors, whatever.
Please.
Gatorade is the official sponsor of the NFL. Please. I don't know why the hell they put liquid on there. It's not like we know that it's Gatorade. Okay.
Please.
So this is the one I always love, right? This is my favorite one because it's ridiculous, quite frankly. It's such a fun, like, insider, like, is there a Gatorade guy that like tells people like what the color is, right? Does it matter which team wins, right? Is it different for either team depending on, do they have a preference on the color? So these are the colors that we have on BetOnline right now: orange, clear, red or pink. Okay, they're together.
Yeah, I'm out on red.
Blue, yellow, green, or lime, right? Yellow, green, or lime, or purple, which seems borderline like no chance, right? And it's definitely the underdog here. So Jamie, you first. What are you picking?
So one, I want to give a shout out to all of our friends, Alex Kaloje over at The Score, because he did some research on this as well, and he found out that, and this is fun for me, and I'll read this to you exactly how it was written. Cool Blue is the most popular Gatorade in the United States. So that's where I'm going to go here. At 6-1, I've seen it, it's kind of the odds have been kind of moving around a little bit. Red's been a sucker bet. Like, everybody likes to bet red every year. It's not going to be it. I mean, look, you have two teams that have red in their uniforms. It feels like this is going to be a good one, but it's been a sucker bet year after year. Orange, there's no value. It's been the most common one we've seen in recent years. There's just no value in betting on that one. My thought is the last 3 times that Tom Brady's teams have won the Super Bowl, he's had blue dumped on him, none, and blue. So is a second most common one.
None this time.
There's some continuity. Well, if it's none, you're gonna get your money back. So to me, I'm gonna take something that gives me a little bit of value here, and I'm gonna take the one that's been blue. That's, we've seen that come up a few times over the last decade, not quite as much as orange, but we've seen it a lot, and we've seen it on Tom Brady twice. Maybe we go blue this year. Let's shake things up.
Okay. I like the blue is the most, I did not know that, most popular Gatorade in the United States. That's great. See, this is the kind of great knowledge that you're going to get on the show. Shout out Alex Koloje, our old buddy AK, for dropping that anecdote on us. Chris, what are you picking here?
So yes, I agree with Jamie. Red is the sucker bet here because you got 2 teams wearing red. I don't think that's a great I don't think that's a great picture. So you're not going to do that. Yep. Give me the one that I have more options in which, if it's close, it can go my direction, right? So I'm going yellow, green, lime. Right, because I got some options there. It could be any sort of any of those 3 colors, and I'm in the ballpark. So give me yellow, green, lime. I think that's plus 600 on BetOnline. I listen. Jamie comes out here with his fancy stats about Tom Brady the last couple times he won the Super Bowl dumped in blue. All right, we're gonna throw that out the window. We're gonna take yellow, green, and lime plus 600. But yeah, red is the sucker bet, and clear. Who drinks clear Gatorade? Or excuse me, clear liquid. I mean, come on, nobody does.
Clear Gatorade's awesome.
No.
Yeah,
it's like the strawberry, like ice.
Icy. Yeah, it's actually
nobody knows the actual Gatorade flavors. You name them by
Glacier Freeze greater than sign, whatever color you guys are referencing.
Okay, all right.
There's nothing wrong with light blue.
No, we are absolutely.
By the way, Chris, you're scaring
when we get back. Yeah,
you name colors, Chris.
All right,
these official names.
Okay.
Yeah, this is some psycho stuff you're doing here, Chris. You're naming off flavors of Gatorade. Who the hell does that? Who raised you, Chris? My God, we need to get into that when we get back. We're gonna big board Gatorade flavors. That's gonna happen live on the show. But it is time for us to take a quick break, and when we come back, you're gonna get John Brinkus and Chris Redman, who is here to chat with you guys live on our virtual Radio Row coverage. We'll be back shortly.
We're gonna set the internet on. With of the clean energy. Flaming Joe. Flaming Joe. We're gonna set the internet on
Life happens in moments. After the lights, the championships, you return home, reconnect with your roots. Search for that passion, that purpose, that drove you then, that guided you here. Everyone has a spark within. Breathe in, search within, go all in, zone in.
Wow, we're on. Good to see everybody. It's John Brankus here. I'm actually out at the Sorenix Winter Strong event. Kill Cliff is out here. Freeze Sleeve is out here. Sorenix, of course, is out here. It's pretty amazing. So we're doing lots of kind of like dude stuff, a lot of hunting. It's been pretty amazing all day. So wanted to invite on an amazing guest, a guy who's been a good friend of not only myself, but Sports Science and Rob Vaca, who seems to be the center of every connection in the NFL. I want to bring on our very special guest. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Chris Redman.
What's up, John? How you doing, man?
I'm doing awesome. Look at you. Where are you? You're just sitting in like a hotel lobby?
Downtown Louisville, having some dinner with family, and yeah, we're in the Galt House. It's not too far from Churchill Downs, actually. This is I don't know, have you been to the Derby yet or not? Have you been this way?
You know what? You've asked me to come to the Derby like 10 times, and I have never come to the Derby. But now that I live in Georgia, it's a lot easier.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, absolutely. So we got to get you up here. It's not too far. Absolutely.
Hey, hey guys, let's throw up a poll on Chiefs versus Bucks to see what the audience is thinking right now. But Chris, I want to hear your assessment on this game. Obviously, you have two great quarterbacks, and it's become kind of cliche at this point, but I want to hear your expert opinion.
Well, obviously, it's going to be a great game. The first game was a great game, so they're very equally matched. Obviously, I think there's going to be a lot of points. Typically early in the game, there's nerves, there's jitters in a big game like that for a lot of guys that have been in this big game. Everybody talks about the quarterbacks, but there's a lot of guys on the field that it's going to be a little jittery. So sometimes it's a slower start, and typically big games like that can tend to do that. So I think it's going to be a little bit of a slow start, but then they're Kansas City. They're just a machine. I think they're gonna score a lot of points, but it's going to be close. It'll all come down. I think Brady's going to be like he always is, sound. Not make a lot of mistakes and make a couple really big throws. And he's going to be in the game no matter what. And I got a chance to be with Tommy up in New England for a little time in the offseason, and he'll come well prepared. And I'm excited to watch. I think it'll be a great game, but I think at the end of the game, the points will get scored. I think Kansas City are probably going to end up on top.
All right, so you're thinking Kansas City is going to win. We got to have some sort of I want to know what the audience is thinking on this, because I'm picking Tampa. I just got Tampa. I think it's a fool's errand to bet against Tom Brady. So I'm going to go. I'm all in on BA and Brady.
Not a bad move.
I feel like that's a safe bet. Now, one thing that I love, Chris, was your perspective on the NFL. You played in the NFL for a long time, and you were backing up Trent Dilfer, and who's going to be on the show Sunday, by the way. Or what are you doing Sunday? You going to be able to come on the show and back up
Absolutely.
Trent with I'm going to call you. We're going to call you again and have you on the show Sunday
as
we're giving out $1,000.
I love it. Happy to do it. And me and Trent, we had battles in the locker room. We like to play tricks, and there's a lot of things we did to each other, and some of them we probably can't even talk about. But we had a lot of fun with each other, and there's a lot of jokes that we played on. And the locker room, we had a really fun environment, And Trent's a great guy, and we had a lot of fun winning the Super Bowl with him in 2000, 20 years ago.
Absolutely. Now, if the most important position on the field, a lot of people say is the quarterback, then doesn't that make the backup quarterback the second most important position?
I would definitely agree with that. And it's the most nerve-wracking position on the field for sure, because every time the quarterback gets hit, you just sit there, you pucker up, and you're like, all right, this is it. This, and then the quarterback will get up and you kind of relax. But it's a constant roller coaster ride. But it's a lot of fun. And you're a part of the game like everybody else, because you have to be, because you're one play away, and you got to be ready to go. And that's, I spent a majority of my career in the NFL being that way. But, I kind of played a game within a game. The whole time I'm trying to make a decision before the starting quarterback would make the decision. And so for me, it was it's still a lot of work, and you got to be prepared and be ready to go. And in an instant, you're in there, and you got to be the man. So it's a lot of fun, but it's a little bit harder than a lot of people think.
Well, let's talk about what really matters here. Paige and the boys before us were talking about one of the most important bets. What color will the Gatorade be that falls upon the victorious coach? They give a pretty good analysis of it all. The idea that it could be, that red is a sucker bet, I'm not so sure about. What is your feeling? Because this is what everybody actually cares about.
I mean, my favorite is red, and I'll be honest, if it's not G2, I'm not going to drink it anyways, because it's so sticky and so thick. You know what I mean? It's hard to drink, but orange is kind of a sleeper too. I think orange is a great color and can kind of sneak in there. You never know. It might be the orange Gatorade. We'll see.
I feel like orange is the logical bet, right? Because they're down in Tampa. Orange kind of mixes in more with the Bucks.
There you
it's
go.
A little orangey, red, something like that. Blue just seems out of the question to me. You cannot have blue in Tampa.
Yeah, I didn't. That's very scientific. I like where you're coming from your sports science background there, and I will go with that too.
Absolutely. So I agree. I think it's going to be orange, maybe blue. So Chris, what else do you got going on? What do you want to plug and tell the audience at Brinks.tv?
I got some cool stuff going now. I've talked to you about our mouth guards. Game On mouth guards is a unique product that we have some guys in the NFL right now that are wearing them. And real excited about, what the direction we're going. It's kind of a crazy year this year with COVID, because we're in a lot of camps 2 years ago. And this year, because of COVID, a lot of the camps got canceled. So it's just a unique material called Vistamax. It gives a really great feel and a stick to your – it's almost like an Invisalign, actually, for your teeth. And it sticks on your teeth. So communication is so important for any type of player, not only quarterbacks, but offensive linemen are calling out safety blitzes now, and their communication, no matter what sport is vital to being successful. So, it's a great product, Game On. And I just took a job with an arena football team. I'm the president of the Louisville Extreme. It's in the IFL, which is the Indoor Football League. We're coming to Louisville. We're going to be playing in the Yum Center. We're real excited about being a part of that league. It's kind of the AFL folded last year, and then so we're going to hopefully replace and be the next league. So we're very, very excited about that. So other than that, just kind of chasing kids around and doing what we always do. Talk to Rob a lot.
Yeah, you just talk to Rob a lot. That's awesome. Chris, listen, I want to thank you so much. On Sunday, we're going to be giving away $1,000 a minute, every single minute of the game. And we have a big announcement today. Not only can you get your $1,000 in cold hard cash, but you also can choose if you want it in cryptocurrency, any way that you want. Now, if you got the pick between cash or crypto, what's your pick?
I'd probably go with a little crypto, but that's awful nice of you. I knew you were rich, but I didn't know you were that rich. For $1,000, that's awful nice of you. What you're doing, I'm sure it's for charity, but it's coming out of your pocket. So I appreciate you doing that, and that's gonna be an awesome Sunday. Look forward to being part of it. Just give me a shout. Yeah,
man, that absolutely. This isn't for charity. This is for everyone. This is for pure profit for everyone. Listen, you're gonna get the $1,000. Do whatever you want with it. Get $1,000 worth of Bitcoin or Ethereum. It's all profit for the audience. So spread the word. Chris Redman, thank you very much for being with us.
Great.
And we will call you up on Sunday. Hopefully you'll be able to join us.
Absolutely. Great to see you, John. Take it easy, man.
All righty. God bless.
All right. You too.
Brinks.tv, the ultimate interactive network. Register now for free. Sunday, February 7th, it's the ultimate virtual party. You predict what's going to happen, and we're going to give away $1,000 every minute of the big football game. And don't miss Virtual Radio Row every day this week from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern Time. Celebrity guests and wild prizes. Brinks.tv. Play, win, repeat. Brought to you by Killcliff, the clean energy drink. ImmuneFresh.com, the all-natural breath mint. Boost your immunity, freshen your breath. And the Draft Network.
What's up, everybody? Back here, Paige DeMacos. We've got my guys. We've got Jamie Eisner and Chris Schubert here today, filling in for Jake Arians, who is in Tampa, and he has a lot of stuff to do. Needless to say, he had a house full of fans. He's a little busy. Listen, I told him, most importantly, if you are not taking care of your 95-year-old grandmother, you are doing something wrong. I was like, Graham better have somebody with her at all moments of time. And he was like, yeah, you're right. Graham's got to be taken care of. That is precious cargo. So Jake, everybody, we're happy that he is obviously hanging out in Tampa and enjoying the celebrations. But gentlemen, we have a lot of prop bets to get into. Okay. We have a lot of prop bets to get into. Very excited about that. We have plenty of stuff to break down for this game.
What do you want, Chris?
Well, are we going to do another coin toss? Are we going to do coin toss number 2 of the show?
Ooh, I like this. Coin toss number 2, live on the show. Jamie, let's see what we got. We got tails last time. We want to play our odds here and see if we can deliver to our lovely audience.
Boom, heads.
Okay, let's
Boom.
see.
Haven't looked yet.
Right, boom, it's heads.
All right, Jamie.
This tails again.
Oh, look at that.
I'm showing the camera as if anybody can see that from there, but that's okay. But it is tails again, Chris.
I believe you.
Doubly wrong. Once again,
doubly wrong. But this is my friendly reminder to everybody that is watching the stream right now to go to Brinks.tv. If you're a Draft Network fan and you are watching us on Twitter right now, you're going to head over to Brinks.tv. You'll still be able to watch the stream. Okay, nothing's going to disrupt you, but you're going to have to sign up so you can participate in all the lovely giveaways that we're having. $1,000 cash, apparently $1,000 of crypto, which is insane.
Every minute.
That's right.
Yeah, and we're giving away $1,000 a minute, so a total of $60,000, which is very exciting. We got a lot of stuff. Killcliff, we're giving away free sleeve. I've got some Panini trading cards. That's exactly right. Jamie's got the CBD. This is my new favorite. Actually, this is the Gangsta's Paradise Berry Dice. Right? Love the play off of that. Love the play off of words there.
I do think I had to explain why I chose this one night, because this is going to be the last against the spread before the big game.
Yes. Yep.
This one, it's called the GOAT. GOAT.
Oh, look at you.
That's what this
look
one.
at you being all fancy.
It's my Vanna White impression.
There you go.
Yeah, Vanna White live
It was
on
very
the show.
appropriate given the conversation we're going to have, where we have the GOAT and the baby goat.
Yeah, they keep saying that, but I'm just like, man, it's a whole lot of pressure for Mahomes. Like,
Can we wait?
Great,
Can we wait like
but,
3 minutes? He's played 3 seasons. Can we just wait just 5 minutes?
Nah, you know how we are.
Best player in
Everybody's
football right now.
reactionary. Yeah,
I agree, but
waiting.
can we just? I don't know.
So what
Ain't waiting.
What if it happens if he loses in this game? And
Is
he's
he not the baby goat
spectacular?
anymore? Like that's what I find so ridiculous about this.
Brady's
conversation.
lost 3 times in the Super Bowl.
I know, but
So-
I know, but I'm just playing the scenario out here. Like, what's the reaction? How bad is it going to be? Are people going to say, because everyone's kind of setting it up for the dethrone of the big goat.
Oh,
But what
goodness.
if the big goat stands up and like real tall and says, "No, baby goat, I'm not ready to go." It kind of
It
feels like
depends how
that's
the
what
game-
Tom's going to do.
Depends how the game plays out. You know, like
Okay.
I have a hard time believing that Patrick Mahomes would be the reason why the Chiefs would not win this game. It's possible. I mean, he is human. He's going to have a couple bad games at some point in his life. But I don't think that's going to be the reason, which is where the criticism will lie. Like if Kansas City's defense gives up 38 points, you're not pointing the finger at Mahomes.
No,
You shouldn't, at least. You shouldn't. But
Well,
we know
logically
you
you shouldn't.
Logically, you should not. But overreaction Monday, we will see. We will
if
come
any-
back on overreaction Monday.
If I don't, Patrick Mahomes could go 6 for 28 with 4 picks. He can get criticized for that game. I don't want to hear a peep out of any other fan base in the NFL. There are 32 franchises where he'd be the starting quarterback. All of them.
All of them.
Period.
I am in agreement with that. But I know there are certain fan bases that are awaiting the opportunity to take pot shots because that's what the NFL does. So we will see. We will see how the game, and we will get into a full breakdown. But there are way too many prop bets to get into that we cannot avoid, right? So we are on betonline.ag. So if you want to go and put in some bets with us, that is where you can find all of the prop bets. I pulled two that I don't know that you guys were prepared for because that's kind of kind of my thing, right? That's kind of my thing. I like putting guys on the spot and ambush. That's right.
Cool.
So let's start off with this one. How many times will Belichick be said?
Oh,
I love this bet. I absolutely freaking love this bet. Why? Because it's like we can't get enough of your ex. Right? That's what this is. They got to constantly show the X of Tom Brady, and it's going to happen a lot. So this is the current odds. Over one time, minus 400. Okay?
Juice to the max.
Under one time, plus 250. So pick the side.
I mean, this is
you
easy.
think it's that obvious? I think it's got to be the over here, guys.
Yeah, there's no
line needs
value
to
here.
move.
Yeah, there's no value here, but it's over and it's not even close. Tony Romo was calling the game, everybody. I don't know if you know this, but Tony Romo was involved. He will mention Belichick 3 times on his own. Okay, and that doesn't even include anything else that gets said during the game.
Yeah, I would have taken the over easily on 1.5 too. Like I think there's very easily this is going to get brought up. It's going to be Tom Brady's first Super Bowl since Bill Belichick, one without Belichick. I mean, I can't imagine a scenario where he's not brought up multiple times, and maybe even in the exact same sentence in the first half and the second half of this game. Like,
yep.
I know the odds. I mean, minus 400 at that point. You just unless you're going to bet no. Sorry, guys, don't do it.
Yeah, it's just not worth it. There's no value.
Put it to a different prop, but it's going to happen.
It's happening.
Yeah,
it's 100% happening.
Yeah,
I think that's a layup, which leads me to my next one because it's tied in there, right? It's tied into whether or not you're going to hear Belichick Patriots, right? Or you're just going to hear Belichick. So the odds are different here. The odds are different. It's a separate prop bet. How many times will Patriots be said? Over 2 times. Okay, there's 2 times over here. Over 2 times is minus 130. Under 2 times is minus 110. Okay, so not as big of a discrepancy as the Belichick one here, right? And I think this is a little different, obviously, because you're going, okay, we know they're going to mention Belichick by name. Like, I feel really confident in saying that they're going to mention Belichick more than one time. But how often are they going to say Patriots? Because they might not go to the team as much. Jamie, what are you feeling?
I'm actually feeling the over here as well. I think they're going to harken back to some of the New England, Kansas City playoff games, some of the times Brady and Mahomes have met prior to this, and that's how the Patriots name is going to come up. So I think between all of that, going through Tom Brady's history, talking about all the times he's won the Super Bowl with the Patriots, I mean, that's one. So I would be surprised if that number is lower. I would much rather take this bet than the Belichick bet. Because you might get 2 for 1 there. They might say Belichick and the Patriots or Belichick with the Patriots when they talk about Tom Brady's history. I would much rather take the over on this one at minus 130.
Okay, Chris?
Yeah, I don't want to sound like a broken record, but do we all remember who's calling this football game? Like Tony Romo is the wild card in this. Like he's going to say whatever's on his mind, and I guarantee you on his prep sheet there's stuff about Belichick and the Patriots. It just is because that's how this works. So he's going to say it because he's going to be just as excited as we are watching the game at home, and he's going to say some of the stuff that we would say. So I just think it's easy to see this flying over. But I'm with Jamie. This is better value, right? I mean, yeah, you have to get more mentions, but I think it's going to be super simple to just mention the Patriots by name, right? If BA runs a play that never would have been run in New England, I can see Tony Romo saying, you wouldn't have seen the Patriots run that play in the Super Bowl. Boom, there I go. I'm halfway there already, and we haven't even done anything. So
great point. Or even like a potential Tom Brady QB sneak at some point. Talk about how successful it was in New England. Like, I mean, I guess this is the one thing that I think we do need some clarification on. If they say New England, does that count?
Right.
I bet not. I bet it has to be Patriots.
But I would still take the over. But I would say if New England counts, then this is flying over.
Yeah, but that is the one kind of qualifier here because that's the one team that people very often do say New England instead of Patriots. It does come out that way, and they don't finish. So
Jim Nantz does that a lot. Yeah,
particularly Jim Nantz
effect. Yeah.
Yep. So
Tony Romo's going to have to save us on that one.
Interesting qualifier there. All right, another one that I am not sure you guys were prepared for. So the page ambush continues. That is, how many times will Roger Goodell be shown on camera, right? So they love to go to Raj, right? They love to go to Raj, but this is not a regular year, right? So in a regular year, you're looking at, things are a little bit more normal. They're not wearing masks. So everybody's going to have a mask on. So I feel like they're going to show people in the crowd maybe a little less because they're not going to want to catch them off guard. They might be not going to want to catch them with their masks off, obviously, right? If they're talking or if they're eating or whatever, because there's a lot of, every time you take a drink, you're going to have to take your mask off. So the over-under on this is 1.5, right? So
that's a great number. That's a great number.
Yeah,
So-
under 1.5 is minus 200. Over is plus 150.
So I'm assuming by those odds, they're only going to talk game time. We're
Because
not talking
post game he's
post-game.
at the
Yes.
because then it would count. Because Jamie, you have to
ans-
agree, you're going to get the standard. Here's the commissioner taking in the game.
Yeah, the answer's under.
Yeah, that
You're
doesn't
gonna get the
count.
one.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
You're gonna get the one. You're gonna get the one during the game. They're gonna take a shot of Roger Goodell, maybe in that Rob Lowe at Team NFL hat, and they'd be like, "There's Commissioner Roger Goodell enjoying this game, big game night. He had this blah 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 to say at the press conference on Friday." That's what it is. Then they're never gonna show him again until the post game. Like that's it. There's no other reason.
Okay, wait a minute. I can
Think
see
he's gonna be
one
dancing
scenario.
at halftime with the weekend? I don't.
No, I that was not the thing I was going to mention.
Well, no,
but
if
if there's a close play, right, and it goes to a lengthy review, and we're debating on what is and isn't a catch, we maybe
here we
pan the
go.
camera up and be like, "Hey, Raj, this is your fault. You put this rule in place." Could we see that? We could. I don't think it's likely, but that's the scenario where
Possible.
you get the second. If you have a
possible.
controversy, that's when you'll get the second look.
Yeah, but I'm just going to go. We're not going to get that. I think we're just going to get our one standard. Here's the shot of Goodell in the crowd. Now, the only other caveat here, Chris, is he by himself / with his wife, or is he with one of the owners? Because as we start to, because there's this little effect. There's the Jerry Jones cam effect that could be there.
Oh, that's a good point.
If he's alongside one of these
Sudden.
owners, there's going to be, if he's, there could be some more appearances for him there. So this is all the factors you have to weigh. I'm still going to go with the under. I still think one's the most likely. And I think if there's anybody that has told CBS exactly how many times that somebody can be shown, it's probably Roger Goodell.
I'm almost certain. I know that Arthur Blank will be there, right? I don't know that all owners will be there, but I know that Arthur Blank has said he will be there. Obviously, the Glazers will be there.
See, if he's with Robert Kraft, then there might be a chance for a second opportunity because
If
it'll be like
he's
Robert
with
Kraft.
Robert Kraft, it's going way
It's flying over.
It's flying over, right?
flying
But
over.
but to Jamie's point,
Okay.
that's a scenario where now you have to kind of throw everything we just said out
But
the
that's
window
not
because if
very
you,
socially distanced, Chris. So
that's a good point.
Yeah. If him and Kraft are sitting next to each other, the Patriots one's
LOL.
going way over.
Yeah,
okay?
that's flying.
That's going over. The Belichick one's going over, and that's going over. Like, if that scenario plays out, we're going to get so much New England crap that we're all going to be sick to our stomachs by the end of it, right? Because that is the exact, I could totally see that playing out. 100%. I could totally see that playing out. All right, I like this one. This is one you guys are prepared for. Okay, so no longer the page ambush. This is the first one off the list that Jamie gave me, and that is the number of Kansas City Tampa Bay players to score points. I think this is a really fun one, right? I think it's a really fun one. So, Jamie, I'll let you take this one first. Break this one down because I think this is fun if you sit down and you go, okay, how many of these? Oh, I see we got.
Well, I think somebody else has an opinion
Starfire is also making an appearance
about this
on the show.
So, let me
Starfire
ask
has
you.
bets.
So
What does
Cheeto?
Starfire think?
It's got to be something about Tyreek Hill, right? Cheetah up there. No, this is interesting because there's a different number for each team. Page, if you could, or Page or Chris, whoever could check on me. I believe it is 4.5 is the over under for Kansas City. 3.5 players is the over under for Tampa Bay. I like the over under for both. You have to think about kickers scoring points in this game, on extra points, on field goals. You think about the number of running backs both of these teams use. They use multiple backs. So you got Travis Kelce, you've got Tyreek Hill for Kansas City, you've got Evans and Godwin for Tampa Bay. You have both quarterbacks that will, down at the one, will Tom Brady run a QB sneak? Possibly. Patrick Mahomes is not afraid to run with the ball pretty much any area of the field. So to me, as I look at all of this and I try to factor all this in with the cat in the background, I think both overs are likely to hit on this matchup.
Listen, Paige, a round of applause to Jamie for working through just a pet ambushing his interview there. Jamie, well done to you. Just round of applause there.
Cat's more popular than me, so why not?
Yeah, that was
the ratings.
Let's be honest. Starfire is absolutely everybody needs more.
Oh, that was
if we're
incredible.
being honest, that was absolutely spectacular, and she very clearly has thoughts. Chris, did you pull up the numbers?
So it's
for
interesting.
Kansas City and Tampa Bay.
I'm lost on the website. This shouldn't surprise you guys at all. I can't find what you guys.
Good job,
what you guys are looking for.
This is great. This is great, Chris.
Well, listen, the cat was a little.
Trust me on this one.
I was saying, and I do trust you. And so it's over under 3.5 for both. I did pull it up. It's over under.
Okay.
They've dropped it for Kansas City.
Yeah. So number of Kansas City players to score points over under 3.5, and then for Tampa it's over under 3.5 as well. And I think I like both of these numbers to be over. I like the over in the game, so I think you'll get a bunch of different players involved. There's a lot of star power on both sides, right? There's not just going to be one guy getting the attention on either side of the ball, and then you add in. I'm just looking at wide receivers and guys who can catch the ball, the running backs as well. There's the Brady QB sneak opportunity
and I love
there
the
as
kicker,
well.
Then a kicker, right? I just throw in a kicker, field goal, right?
There's just so many opportunities there. I think it flies over.
On a technicality, Jamie, does the extra point count?
See, it should. Now this is the question that you're going to have to ask your whatever book you choose. Obviously, our preferred is Bet Online, but technically, in official NFL scoring, an extra point is an official point. If you look at what kickers accumulate over the course of the year, who leads the league in scoring, an extra point counts.
Well, you don't have to worry about Harrison Butker there. You're not going to get the points from him on that one.
That has been a weird.
He's kind of struggled with that lately,
this season.
So.
Yeah.
That could come back to bite them in this game. I have thought about that. I think this could be a really close game, and missing an extra point here or there or a crucial field goal could end up being really, really bad for this football team. The next one, though, I love, right? And that is jersey number from player to score the first touchdown, right? So I always love it. I love when you're talking about, okay, you're going to look at the jersey number. You're going, okay, you're trying to take a guess at who's going to get the ball first, right? Who's going to get the ball first? Who's going to score first? Who do you feel more comfortable in? And then of that team, who do you think is going to score the first touchdown? So Jamie, give me all the analysis on who's going to score the first touchdown.
Chris, this is a classic odd or even number. So this gets really, really exciting.
You're right.
I'm going to go with odd here. And I thought about this. I'll take it. Like if I take odds here, I'm getting Ronald Jones. I'm getting Rob Gronkowski. I'm getting Mike Evans. I'm getting Antonio Brown on the Tampa Bay side. Kansas City side, I'm getting Travis Kelce. I'm getting a Patrick Mahomes run in. So I'm getting Darrell Williams if they go with him toward the goal line. So, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. So I'm getting a lot of these options to me. So I'm weighing all of those versus the Chris Godwins, the Tyreek Hills, the Leonard Fournettes, a Tom Brady sneak. So I'm going to actually lean toward the odd number side here, Chris.
I'm with you. I agree. I do have a question that I probably should know the answer to, but I don't. Tampa is obviously the home team because it's their stadium. Are they the home team for the game?
Yes.
Okay. So that means Kansas City is going to call the coin toss, right?
Correct. And then yes. So
then they're
going to defer.
So they'll defer, which means you're going to get Tampa to get the ball because they'll win the coin toss because they'll do what Jamie said and take tails. And they'll win the coin toss because we've now proven that apparently it's never going to land on heads anytime we do it.
It never fails, Chris.
It does never fail. That I have been told that once or twice. So they'll defer, and then Jamie just listed all of the players that have odd numbers on the Bucs side of the ball that if they score, you have a pretty good chance there. So just thinking this out on how the game script could go early in the game, Jamie, I'm with you. I would take odd because I think Tampa's going to get the ball, and I think they're going to score. I think both teams are going to be able to score in this game. I don't think there's going to be a lack of opportunities to score.
Okay, Matt Hasselbeck.
Okay.
Tampa Bay's getting the ball and they're going to score. Okay.
I did not say that. I don't know.
Clip that. Those were your words.
No, not. I don't.
Maybe not the way you meant them, but those were your words in that order, kind of.
And now, in your order, kind of. Okay. I have another one that comes off your list.
Okay.
What will be said first? Okay. What will be said first? Tom Brady's 10th Super Bowl or Tom Brady's age 43? Okay, so they're going to talk a lot about Tom Brady. They're going to talk a lot about both these things.
Yep.
As of right now, the 10th Super Bowl is minus 140, and the age of 43 is plus 100. So the favorite is the 10 Super Bowls. Jamie, which one are you going with?
I've spent an embarrassing amount of time these last few days thinking about this question, and I've come down to this result. I'm not joking. I spent just really an absolute embarrassment amount of time. I've come to the conclusion that it's Jim Nantz is going to say it, and both are going to be said in the same sentence. So we're now down to what order? Are we getting Tom Brady playing in his 10th Super Bowl at the age of 43, or Tom Brady, 43 years old, playing in his 10th Super Bowl? Like, I got to see what do I think Jim Nantz is more likely? What order of cadence? How is he going to say that? I think I'm going to go with 10 Super Bowls. I think it feels more Nancian in the flow to go Tom Brady playing in his 10th Super Bowl at the age of 43. I think that's the quote you're going to get.
So, Paige, can we just keep track? We have Jamie coming up with the don't give an F index, and now we have Nancian. That's what we've come up with here over the course of this show today. So, Jamie, kudos to you. I think I try to look at this from a production standpoint, right? And think about how the production of the broadcast is going to go. They're going to put up the tail of the tape of the two quarterbacks, right? That's just easy that they're going to put it up. And I think that's where the age gets mentioned. I think it's really an easier path for me to see Brady playing in his 10th Super Bowl come up first and not be in a graphic, whereas the age is definitely in a graphic.
Yeah, but I got another scenario that plays out. Tom Brady's running out of the tunnel, and Jim Nantz says, playing in his 10th Super Bowl, here comes Tom Brady. Like, that just feels like that's exactly what's going to happen.
Yeah, and then right? I'm good there, right?
Like,
that's the side I'm on, because I think that's just an easier thing to say first. Because I think, Jamie, tell me if you disagree with this, but from a storyline perspective, right, in terms of the production element of the broadcast, talking about Tom Brady in his 10th Super Bowl, I think is the bigger storyline than him being 43 years old.
Yeah, like I think if you like, what is the key factor and what is a cool sub factor? And to me, it's the 10th Super Bowl, like, and bringing up the percentage of Super Bowls that Tom Brady has played in since he's been in the league, or just the percentage he's played in of all Super Bowls. Like, that is a more interesting example. They will get to the age, both will come up, and again, I think it's the same sentence. So I really think it's like Tom Brady playing in his 10th Super Bowl at age 43. Like, I think that is the sequence of what they would say, because you want to go with the emphasis on 10th Super Bowl. That is obviously playing in a Super Bowl at 43 is remarkable, but playing in 10 is more remarkable in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I think the way you said it, the Nancian, the way you termed that, it just sounds more like what Jim Nantz is going to say, right? Like, when I'm sitting there and I'm thinking about it and I'm going, okay, how is he going to deliver that sentence? It just feels like I can hear it. I can close my eyes and I can envision Jim Nantz saying, as Tom Brady runs out of the tunnel, that he is playing in his 10th Super Bowl at age 43.
And that's
I can hear it.
And that's how you have to approach this specific prop bet, is put yourself in the position of, we've listened to Jim Nantz call a lot of football games. What makes more sense? And like you said, Paige, you close your eyes and you put yourself in that spot. That's the way Jim Nantz delivers it. He just does.
Because I think Tony Romo's more likely to bring up the age. Like, I think it's Jim Nantz going 10 Super Bowls and Tony getting excited, and he's 43, Jim.
Right. Like,
43.
That's the way this works.
Like, that's what he feels happening here.
Yeah, that definitely sounds just like Tony. Like, he's screaming at us, he's 43. And we're like, yes, we get it, Tony. He's 43. We're also very excited about this Super Bowl game. It's going to be a wild one. All right, I got two more, and then we're going to take a quick break, and you'll get an Eric Bigger interview that we have that John did earlier today. What we have for you right now, is about Bitcoin.
Yes.
Right?
There you go, Chris.
Crypto.
This is the entrance for cryptocurrency for Chris.
This
right?
is why I'm on the show tonight. Yeah.
Yes, this is exactly why you're on the show. Will Bitcoin be up or down on February 7th, 2021?
So listen, I want to make it very clear off the top that what I'm about to say is not financial advice in any way, shape, or form, right? I'm just guessing as to what's going to happen here. But if you just look at what Bitcoin has done, I have a graph right in front of me here. This should be a surprise to either of you.
Nickelback style.
10.5%. In the last week. Last 3 days, 6%. It's been up. The last month, it's been up 3% overall. This thing's just going up and up and up. I think by the time the Super Bowl is over, it will be up from where it started. So I would go up. And by the way, Paige, you didn't mention it, but we have the big game party here on Sunday on Brinks.tv. You have an opportunity to win $1,000 a minute, $60,000. You also have a chance to win that $1,000 in crypto. So you can get yourself some Bitcoin. You can get yourself some Ethereum. You can join the fun. So yeah, there's my crypto message to everybody.
There you go, Chris.
See, Chris, this is exactly what I was looking for. I was looking for my cryptocurrency guru to come in and tell the people.
Not a guru. No, listen, don't. I don't want that kind of praise.
Yep, that's what's happening. Jamie, is it going to be up or down?
I think it's going to be up. It's been a solid trend this week across the board for a lot of the cryptos, whether it's been Bitcoin, Ethereum, whether it's been Stellar Lumens has been up. I mean, there's been a lot. I mean, it's been a really strong week. There's a little chaos in the market after everything that happened with GameStop and Dogecoin, all the other stuff. But it's been a pretty upward trajectory for the most part this week, and really for the most part over the last several months. So I will expect that it will go up, which I believe is the favorite there at BetOnline. And yeah, by the way, $1,000 to go stick into Bitcoin or Ethereum or whatever your cryptocurrency of choice is, it's probably going to pay off for you.
Yeah.
Yep.
More than likely.
Yeah, going pretty well lately for most people. So if you want to have a little wager going on, which I venture to say that a lot of people that are watching a show about gambling, they may or may not want to partake in that process. Go ahead and enter for the opportunity at Brinks.tv. Okay, the last one before the break and the interview, guys. Shortest field goal. Okay, so this is a fun one for me because I look at this and I go, one, you got to make sure that you're making this. Okay. So Harrison Butker's
out.
List.
Yeah, he's out.
Yeah. So Harrison Butker's off
we're not
the list.
discussing him. Okay. And then you have Tampa, who's notoriously known for having great kickers. So this is great. This is going to be fun.
Yeah. This is a really fun one for a lot of reasons. So, Chris, I'm going to make you go first. What is the shortest field goal that will be made in this game? Because made matters, right? You're going to have to make the field goal.
It's 27.5, Chris, is the over-under.
Oh, okay. I didn't know if there was like different tiers, if there was an over-under.
Well, there is. 20? If you really want to get specific at BetOnline, you can bet very specific one at better odds, but you better be right.
Man,
the bigger one is
Harrison Butker not making anything anywhere close inside of 33. Right? If it's 33 or closer, Harrison Butker.
If it's 53.
If it's 53, easy, but that's not what we're doing here. Butker from 33 is hitting both posts. So, I will say I'll take the over on 27.5 being the shortest. I don't think anybody, because if they get down there, you have BA and Andy Reid. They're going for it. They're not putting 3 points on the board. Are you kidding me? Especially if Tampa's down, BA is going to go for touchdowns. So I think inside of 27, they're just going to go for it anyway. So I will take the over on 27.5. I think you're looking at something in like the 35, 36 yard range.
Makes sense. I think that's good analysis looking at the head coaches and thinking they might be a little bit more aggressive down there.
No risk it, no biscuit. I mean, like, come
on. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Like, over. We're going to pick the fun answer. Go over. This is the no risk it, no biscuit, no risk it, no cheeseburger Super Bowl. That's what this is this week. You're going to need to be inside the 10 to kick this field goal. I'm going to take a chance of both these coaches when they get inside the 10, given how hot their offenses have been and given the criticism of kicking field goals in certain playoff situations, how prevalent that conversation has been this postseason. They're going to be more willing to risk it than before. I don't see either coach getting conservative inside the 10.
No risk it, no biscuit, no risk it, no cheeseburger.
It didn't really rhyme, but it had a nice flow to it.
It's fantastic. I love that both of these head coaches are all in on their food and their drinks and everything that they're prepared to have, right? One way or the other. Andy Reid's already talking about the cheeseburger, right? It's already been a thing. God love him. They're so funny just listening to both head coaches as they break down what type of celebrations they might be partaking in. But we're going to break down all of the actual in-game scenarios that are going to happen, the MVP odds, who we're going to choose, what bets we're taking. But first, you're going to get an interview here with Eric Bigger and John Brinkus. So check that out first, and we will be back shortly.
Our next special guest is somebody that you all know from The Bachelorette, but he's so much more than that. Ladies and gentlemen, here he is, the one, the only, Eric Bigger! 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 How are you?
I'm phenomenal, man. Thanks for having me. Feels good. It's a new day, new energy. How are you, by the way?
Oh my God, dude! Come on, look at me. I'm hanging out on my own private island. This is Brinkus Island, right here.
You see the creativity in the background. Oh my God, what is that, man?
I know. So listen, I don't know if you realize this, but there's a big game on Sunday, and I want to hop right into this. I mean, how do you see this game? I want your prediction on this game.
Well, listen, you got two of the best quarterbacks in the game. You have the master in Tom Brady, and then you have the A+ student in Patrick Mahomes. I think it's going to go down to the wire. I think it's going to be let the best team win, but I feel like Tom Brady's greatness and longevity and experience and wisdom is going to win the game.
Wow. So you think he can just kind of think his way through it? He's going to Jedi mind trick everybody?
The football gods is on Tom Brady's side. He's going to win by a field goal. 30-27 is my prediction.
30-27 is your prediction. All right, everybody on Brinks TV right now, 30-27. Eric Bigger says the Bucks over the Chiefs. Do you agree or do you disagree with that? I don't know. I'm going to let you know how I feel. I actually agree with your pick, but I think they're going to win by 10. I think it's going to be a surprise. I think they're winning by 10, and this is why. Because you never bet against Brady, and I think ultimately they're going to figure it out. They're going to figure out a way to contain Mahomes, and they're going to just go on a crazy scoring spree, and at the end of the game, Chiefs come back, cut it to 10. Everyone's going to be like, oh, my God, it's close. That's what I think, but I think it's 10. That's my rationale.
Yeah, I love it. That's close. I mean, the winner is Tom Brady and the Buccaneers all the way in Tampa Bay.
I know. I mean, it's pretty amazing. So now I know that you're good friends with Andre Reed.
Yes.
What is your take on the 2020 season and this Super Bowl? Because I just look at the landscape, and it seems like it was a tough year, but we are being rewarded with a gem of a Super Bowl.
You know what? That is a great analogy because now that I think about it, we know we had COVID and the COVID test. Lamar Jackson missed some games. Shouts out to my Ravens. I am from Baltimore, people. But I am a Bills fan. Thank you, Andre Reed. And I told him because of COVID, the Buffalo Bills have this luck, but then they can't get there. I feel like the Buffalo Bills are going to be in the Super Bowl. It didn't happen, unfortunately, but we have some great firepower in offense. You got Antonio Brown. He's in the Super Bowl. I mean, we got some big name guys, and I think this is going to be maybe the most watched Super Bowl. Not only because of who's playing, but everyone's home, right?
Right.
Everyone is usually home during the Super Bowl, but you know what I mean. Everyone has got really accustomed to being inside. People probably downloaded the new NFL or DirecTV package, so more people are going to be eyes on screen this weekend, and it's going to be a great game, and I'm looking forward to it. I got some friends invite me over, so we'll see.
We'll see. I want to jump into, I know that you have a book that you just released. You are, not only do people know you because of The Bachelor, but that's just really sort of the starting point of your story for, becoming very well known. But now you're taking your influence and applying it for good, spreading positive energy. Tell everybody about the book you just put out.
Yeah, so I just released the book, everyone. It's called 100 Days of Wisdom. And each day I'm giving you wisdom, I'm giving you words of affirmation and phrases and thoughts from my mind to help you get through your day and transform. So it's really simple. Every day I'm going live in my Facebook group. You guys can follow me on Instagram at Eric Bigger, and I have a link in my story. But anyway, every day I'm going to explain the quotes to you, break them down, and give you my equation to life so you can understand what your equation is like. It's not a me thing, it's a we thing. And together we can do more and we can become better. It's all about healing, evolving, and I love helping people. So this is how I see life.
Wow. All right. I want to put you to the test. I'm going to do a little trivia with you.
Let's go.
Are you ready to do this? This is for a free case of Killcliff, the clean energy drink. Okay. If you haven't heard about it, go to Killcliff, KILLCLIFF.com. Just put out a drink with Joe Rogan, actually, the Flaming Joe, best-selling CBD drink in the world.
Oh,
how about that? I'm going to ask you some tough Chiefs trivia questions. Here's one. You ready? This one, I don't know if you're going to get this or not. What was the original name of the Kansas City Chiefs?
Wow.
They were not the Kansas City Chiefs. They were originally founded in 1960 as
the Mississippi.
No, I'm going to give you choices. It's really a hard trivia question. It's the Dallas, and then they had a name after it. Either Wolverines, the Dallas Wolverines, the Dallas Flyers, or the Dallas Texans.
Wolverines.
The Texans.
The Texans?
Can you believe that? I know. It's
I
like,
mean,
what?
You know, and those names are familiar, so I wouldn't think another team would already have that name that they would have chose back then. So
I know.
Texas,
I know.
Houston,
All right. Well, now, do you know the Chiefs legend Len Dawson?
I've heard of the name. Yes.
Yes. Here you go. I'm going to see how good of a guesser you are. Putting up the question right now on Brinks.tv. What number did Len Dawson wear? 12, 16, 18, or 14? And I'm going to give you a hit. It's not 12 or 14.
18.
16. Come on.
16, brother. Dang, I'm not on today. God damn it.
Oh, my God.
I didn't do my meditation. Jesus. I'm sorry, Brinks TV, but it's all right.
Good Lord.
Good Lord.
Man.
I'm not getting that final rose, man.
That's right. I'm gonna do another trivia question, and let's see if you can answer this one. What is Eric Bigger's favorite flower? Is it a lily? Is it a rose? Or is it a Venus flytrap?
Well, do you accept this rose?
Dude, you're right. You just won yourself a free case of Killcliff.
Yeah! I need it today.
That's right.
I'm 1 for 3, right?
Yeah. Hey, before I let you go, I want to know, listen, the whole will you accept this rose kind of thing, it's now such an integral part of pop culture. What was it like the very first time you had to have an exchange of a rose? Was your stomach just going nuts? Were you kind of laughing like, I can't believe I'm here? Were you smiling like, I cannot believe I'm here? What was going through your mind?
It's so surreal in the moment because you're like pinching yourself. Like, it's like you're getting your name called. You're up there. You're up all night and all day from 5 p.m. to 5 a.m. You're tired. You probably had a few drinks. And he's like, Eric, will you accept this rose? And you're like, what? But here's the kicker. When Chris Harrison says, sorry, Eric, say your goodbyes. It's like, no rose. No more Rose Boy. But yeah, it's you're anxious, it's exciting, and it's like, oh my God, I'm getting a rose, I'm on TV. What the heck is going on here? And you just like your shoulders drop because you're like, big sigh, like you're taking over.
That's awesome. All right, well, we got your prediction locked in. You're locked and loaded. Eric, listen, what are you doing on Sunday? You said you were going over a friend's house or something.
Yeah, I'm watching Super Bowl. And
all right, well, we're doing the ultimate virtual party, and we're giving away $1,000 a minute every single minute of the Super Bowl, every single minute. I want you. $1,000? $60,000, $1,000 a minute. So for the big football game on Sunday, can we rely on you to call into the show and help us give away some money?
Absolutely. That's easy.
Awesome. All right, well, you're gonna be giving your own version of a rose to people.
Yeah, the more we give, the better we live now.
That's right. That's right. All right, well, we'll get all your info. We'll set it up, and we'll make sure that you tune in. And if you could tell everybody, go to Brinks.tv to register to win $1,000 a minute. We will see you on Sunday.
Wow. Listen, guys, go to Brinks.tv.com, right?
Or just Brinks.tv. You can type in Brinks.com, same place, but Brinks.tv.
Everyone go to Brinks.tv. We'll see you Sunday and register so you can get $1,000. We're giving away money. The secret to living is giving. I'll see you on Brinks.tv. Be great. Peace and love. And gratitude. Thank you.
I love that he won. I think I'm the only girl on planet Earth that doesn't watch The Bachelor or The Bachelorette, right? I'm like the only one that doesn't watch any of that. But hearing it's just like, I gotta watch a lot of sports for my life. So me and Jamie kind of always talk about this, that there's just like not a lot of time for additional video stuff, right? Additional anything else is a lot of consumption for me. But I loved his like breakdown of the rose thing because obviously I'm aware of that. But just hearing how like serious it was for him, like, oh my God, like Chris Harrison did not give me a rose. Like it was like, damn, I bet that's really disappointing.
Yeah,
like,
it's a little heartbreaking, Paige. It's not a fun thing to go through.
Chris, have you?
Chris, you got some thoughts on this? Or?
No, listen. Listen. The Bachelor and The Bachelorette are quality television. Okay, they're quality TV. It's good production.
Wait, I did not know that you were all in on The Bachelor and The Bachelorette.
Yeah, it's a good show. Come on, Fantasy Bachelor. You got to. Come on, you're missing out.
You play Fantasy
Bachelor?
No.
It's just a thing that exists.
Oh, no, just the thing that exists, Chris.
I think that sounds like a big old fat lie.
I can you know what? I can hear
backpedal fast.
I can hear the production truck right now typing up a graphic that's about to go on the bottom. I can hear it all the way from here. I can hear it be written
live on the bottom because of the three of us sitting here. If we had a live poll, that's handy information, Chris.
It is.
Okay, we're really appreciative of the fact that you Fantasy Bachelor. Wow, there is never a day that I am ceased to be amazed, and this is that moment where I'm just like totally speechless because I cannot believe that Chris one watches The Bachelor and Bachelorette, and two, he plays fantasy. It's really
no. Again, that the second part of that's not true. I just know that it exists. Listen, I follow people on Twitter.
Okay, Chris Stoff protests too much.
Chris feels like a lie, and well done, Jamie. That's all I have to say. Well done, Jamie. All right, let's talk about props. Let's talk about props so that Chris's face doesn't get any more red.
No, listen, it is what it is. I don't care. I'll be the joke.
The thing that is going to happen, though, because we have teased this on the podcast, and now that you open yourself up for it, Chris, it is definitely happening. Okay, we are definitely going to host a Bachelor for Chris.
Yeah,
okay?
I knew this was.
Chris is a Bachelor. We are 150% going to do that. Now you have opened the door for me.
All right.
I thought it was a joke, but now that I know you love the show,
love is a strong. It's a good show. Love is not a word that I would. I think I would use.
I feel like you said a lot of strong things here, Chris. So I feel like it's happening, and it's gonna happen. And we're probably gonna do it on Brinks.tv, and there's probably gonna be some involvement.
Absolutely should.
Yep, there's probably going to be polls where the girls are voting on poll questions down below. This is going to be an interactive Bachelor show. Okay, that is what we just pitched live. ABC is already upset that we made their show better. Okay, they are already upset. I cannot wait for this.
I should just learn to keep my mouth shut. I really walked right into this. Yeah,
I've been telling you that for years.
Especially around me and Jamie.
This is brutal.
I've been telling you that, Chris, since we were on KDUS together.
Yeah, I haven't learned a single thing since knowing you guys. All right.
Yeah, it's been fun, pal. I can't wait for you to be on The Bachelor. All right, I will save you here and steer the ship in a different direction. We are going to talk about props, a couple of non-football related ones before we get into all of the breakdown. The first one, this is my absolute, okay? Gatorade is my second favorite.
Liquid,
This is my absolute favorite prop bet that exists. And that is because I myself, okay, have sat and listened to people singing certain songs to try and figure out the cadence at which they sing to figure out if they're going to go long on the national anthem, okay? And that is the over-under on the time of the national anthem. I am embarrassed to admit that I have done that multiple times with multiple different artists, trying to figure out, okay, have they sang the national anthem before? So you go back and you see it and you see how long, and then you go, okay, it's probably going to be a little longer because this is the big one. This is the biggest stage, right? You can never have a bigger one. So this year, 1 minute, 57 seconds, the over at -110. Jamie, is it going over? Is it going under? Which one are you going?
So they say the Kentucky Derby is the most exciting 2 minutes in sports. It is timing this national anthem at the Super Bowl every single year. I am going to go over here, and here is why. I think the fact that this is going to be a duet is a critical factor in this because it tends to elongate the amount of time the song goes. You're going to probably have lines being read by one person, lines being sung by another person, some instruments. It's going to elongate it. The last time we saw a duet, Super Bowl 40, 2 minutes and 9 seconds. The average time in that meantime since Super Bowl 40 has been about 1:55. So I'm going to take that. The duet factor of this anthem is going to push it over the 2 minute mark. So I'm going to go over 1 minute and 57 seconds.
I love that. The duet aspect of it definitely lends itself to go over. Chris, you going over? You going under?
Yeah, listen, people, when they sing this song, they it's their moment in the spotlight, right? They're singing it at the Super Bowl. They kind of tend to drag it out just a little bit more than maybe it's needed. Jamie, you brought up a point that the average, in the last couple of years have been 1 minute and 55. I just need one note to just go a little bit longer, and I'm there. Like, I don't even need much. I'm not dealing with a lengthy amount of time. And we'll see, because what happens around this time of year is rehearsals happen, and some stuff gets leaked out onto the Twitterverse of how long the rehearsal times were. So we'll see if that information does find its way to the public. But I'm with Jamie. I'll take the over. You have another person in the mix, so there's going to be that back and forth, and there's time that in that back and forth. So I will take the over.
Yeah, it just feels like that. Just that added element, right? The fact that the average is 155 and it's a duet, you're going to get.
I just need 3 seconds. I need to find 3 seconds somewhere,
you're just
right?
Gonna get enough juice between the two of them. I think this is an easy one. I like the over, and betting unders is not very fun. So
who bets unders?
And again, most books qualify this as the end of the last Brave. What if we get double Brave?
Yeah,
man.
What if we get one finishes the Brave, and then the other one picks over halfway through the Brave to really just end
that's
with
a great point, Jimmy. I had
you get a whole extra word.
I love it.
That's a great point, Jamie.
The double Brave.
It might not even matter, because it might be over 157
now.
Beforehand. But yeah, it'll be like 1 minute and 30. They'll be done.
No, I want it going way over.
Speed
I
run
want
the
to
anthem.
I want this to hit, and I'm just like, yep, keep it going. 2 minutes and 10 seconds, like all the way over. I'm all the way in. It is the most exciting 2 minutes, as Jamie mentioned, which I think is fantastic. Who needs the Kentucky Derby? We're here to sit and tape the amount of time that is happening on the national anthem. It's fantastic, right? Fantastic. We have 2 cross sport props.
No.
Okay, this is the type of
I gotta
stuff
think
that
about
we're
multiple
delivering.
This is my Galaxy Brain.
Yes,
man.
this is Galaxy Brain Moments with Jamie Eisner. I might as well just hand it over to him. This is on his column, thedraftnetwork.com. He is sitting down and he is going, okay, how can I Galaxy Brain my way into making money? So, Jamie, this is for you. I'm going to let you take over. Galaxy Brain with the people out there and tell them what you have cooked up, right? Because it involves Alex Ovechkin, which I love. It's another sport.
I'm in on this. A little hockey related. I'm in.
So to me, there are a plethora of cross-sport props that involve the big game, but I like to go with ones on the same day. Like, I don't want to go with the one. You can prop this one with the Masters. You could do this with. I don't want to wait that long. I'm not a very patient person, as anybody that knows me understands. So let's go with stuff on the same day. Shut up, Chris. So on this one will be, and I'm going to read this exactly. What will be higher on Sunday? Will it be Patrick Mahomes' passing touchdowns or Alex Ovechkin's shots on goal? And they play the Flyers earlier in the day, because obviously nobody's trying to compete up against the big game later in the night. So I looked at this, and as of writing, Ovechkin was averaging 3.5 shots per game. The Flyers give up the 3rd most shots in the NHL. So I'm thinking that we're going to have Ovechkin hanging around that 4 or 5 shot mark. That's asking a lot of Patrick Mahomes. Like, you're asking a whole lot of him to be up above 4 or 5 potentially passing touchdowns in this game. And again, it's only passing touchdowns. So I'm going to go with Ovechkin here. It's minus 180. It's pretty juiced, but I think at worst you're going to get probably 3, which means to actually lose money, you're going to need 4 passing touchdowns from Mahomes. It can happen, but it's only happened 3 times this season, so I'm not going to bank on it.
Chris, do you like this one?
Love
do you
it.
Like that we're in? You were I
love it.
Okay, you
Alex
agree with
Ovechkin,
Jamie?
Yeah, I agree 100%. I mean, to Jamie's point, there's a lot of different ways that the Chiefs can score, and to tell me that the final stat sheet's going to have 4 touchdowns for Patrick Mahomes, I think that's asking a lot. I mean, my final prediction, I only have the Chiefs scoring 4 touchdowns in total. So, and I think one of those at least comes on the ground. And by the way, Jamie, this doesn't even include Patrick Mahomes might run for a touchdown or 2.
Sure.
And then now all of a sudden that doesn't count towards this passing touchdown number. And I feel even better about it. Ovechkin will get to that 3. If he gets to 4, Jamie, I feel like this is a win pretty easily. I don't think you'll lose money if it gets to 4. So I'm with you. I really like this one because I just can't see Mahomes having a superstar like day where we're talking 5-6 touchdowns. I just don't see that happening.
All right, let the Galaxy Brain continue. Okay, let the Galaxy Brain continue because we have another cross-sport prop. This one involves basketball. So we have one for the hockey fans, and we've got one for the guys and gals that like basketball. And this one involves a team in Chris Paul and his assists. That is what this one involves. So, Jamie, Why did you like this one? Why were you're looking at this one? You're cooking up another cross sport prop bet that you liked. Maybe you were just paying attention to the fact that the Phoenix Suns have finally gotten somebody decent in this since you've left, right? Since you've left the Phoenix area, they've actually decided to play really good basketball.
So
maybe
fault.
that's why you were, definitely Jamie's fault. So why do you like this cross sport bet?
Well, this is a fascinating one here because you have Ronald Jones, who is in a bit of a timeshare, his carries versus Chris Paul's assists on Sunday. But I'll look at it this way. Ronald Jones has at least 10 carries in his last 4 games and 6 of his last 7. He was averaging more than 7 yards a carry earlier this year when the Chiefs played the Bucs. So I think there's a really good chance he's in this 10, 11, 12 carry range. You're going to need a heck of a game from Chris Paul. He can do it. He's done it I believe 3 times this year. But expecting him to get like a dozen or more assists, that's asking a lot. I think the path for Ronald Jones, particularly in the second half of this game, I mean, heck, Ronald Jones could have a drive where he gets you 5, 6, 7 carries all on his own. I think that's a safer bet here at -150.
All right, Chris, what do you think? You like that one, or you going against him?
So no, I'm with Jamie on this one. Chris Paul has been playing some of his best basketball as of late for the Phoenix Suns, and I look at 2 games in particular when they played Dallas, and the most assists he had in that game in either of those games was 12. So I think him getting to double digits isn't necessarily out of the realm of possibility. He's done it a bunch this year, but it's not something that normally happens. So even when he's playing his best basketball like he is as of late, he's not putting up those big assist numbers. And like Jamie said, there could be one drive where Rojo gets the ball 5 times, and all of a sudden I need Chris Paul to almost have 14, 15 assists to feel comfortable. He's only gotten to 15 once, and I think in another game he got to 13 like 2 or 3 times. So he hasn't had that many big assist games. So I think the easier side here is to go with Rojo and the assists.
All right, guys, it is now officially time. I am off of the non-football related props. Okay, I am on to the official breakdown of the game and only props that are related to the big football game that is happening on Sunday. So the first one that we're going to get into, of which I'm very interested in. I like this one a lot, and I feel very strongly one way, which I think is very interesting because it is not the favorite. Right? So we're going to start off the first offensive play for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. A pass at +110. Jamie, I love these odds. I love these odds because I love Bruce starting off very aggressive with a pass on their first offensive play here. So are you in agreement with me? Do you like them starting off that way in the big game on Sunday?
I do. We've called it the no biscuit Super Bowl. I think that's what this is going to be. But also there's some logic here. Since the bye week, the 7 games Tampa Bay has played, they have run a pass play on the first play of the game for them offensively 5 of the 7 times. So it's something to kind of keep an eye on, that they are not afraid to air it out right away. They're not afraid to put the ball in Tom Brady's hands to open the game. Sometimes it's worked. Sometimes it's led to a quick 3 and out. But I think they're going to give him that opportunity. I would love for them to come out with like a play action and try to hit something over the top, as we've talked about, as we joked about earlier on the show. I love those odds at +110. I think it's way, way more likely that Kansas City tries to at least try to establish their running game a little bit earlier than Tampa Bay does.
Show me no risk it, no biscuit, right? Show me Papa Bruce just going, you know what? I'm 68 years old and I'm head coaching this for the first time in a Super Bowl, right? He's been there as an assistant, but never as a head coach. And he's got the GOAT behind him. I like him coming in hot, right? To begin this game.
Also, Paige, look, if you're worried about nerves, if you're worried about anything, who's been there before? Who's been there 10 times now by the time that game kicks off? So if you're going to put the ball in somebody's hands, you want to get everything calmed down. Just a quick completion from Tom Brady to anybody else. I know we joked about play action over the top, which would be awesome, but just to watch the Super Bowl start with that, for either team to start with that dramatically in a huge offensive play, but to calm everybody down, because there's not a lot of Super Bowl experience on the Tampa Bay roster aside from Tom Brady and Rob Gronkowski. Like there ain't much. So to kind of get everything calmed down, get that first completion out of the way, second and manageable, and kind of then roll into the rest of your game script. Like that's how I think would be the great way to get things going. What you don't want to do is, with everybody hyped up, turn the ball, hand it to Leonard Fournette, lose 2 yards, and now all of a sudden it's second and long and people are starting to panic and there's a lot of energy. I say you put the ball in Tom Brady's hands. He's been there before. The moment is certainly not too big for him. He's not going to be shocked. I think that's the person to get this game rolling that needs to have the ball in his hands right away.
I totally agree. I think there's a really, really good shot that is the way that this game starts off. And man, if we get play action to Scotty Miller, good Lord, I am breaking shit in my house. I'm losing my mind. I am going absolutely nuts for Scooter, and I'm going to be just absolutely through the roof. Chris, you can just set the scene. If Jake was here, he and I would just be chest bumping each other and losing our minds, because that is exactly what we want to see. No risk it, no biscuit. Are you going against us? Are you going to try and be against us on this one? You can.
So I hate to.
But you can.
Yeah, I hate to deflate the air out of the room like a Tom Brady football, but they're going to run the ball.
There you go.
First down. Okay. This is their tendency. They run the ball on first down a lot. I know what Jamie said coming out of the bye. They've started games this way, but they can run the ball on this Chiefs team. It's probably the weakness of this Chiefs defense is they can run the football on them, and they are going to want this balance. They're not going to get away from their game plan. No risk it, no biscuit is the game plan for this football team. Let me make that very clear. Byron Leftwich and BA, they're going to draw up a lot of passing plays, but they need to run the football because they need to control the clock as well. I think they want to set the tempo early, and they're going to do that by running the football to get those two guys, whoever they decide to start the game, whether it's Rojo or Fournette, they're going to get them involved early. So they are going to run the football in the first play. So I will be on the other side of you guys on this one.
Come close, people. All right, come close. Gather around here. We're not doing that. Play action, over the top. Scooter.
No, I love it.
What we're getting,
love it.
baby.
I want that. I'm rooting for it, but they're going to run the ball.
Biscuit. No,
this is a handoff to the left side, and Rojo gets back to the line of scrimmage.
No, we're not getting a fumble from freaking Ronald Jones or playoff Lenny because they don't know how to handle the moment. Tom Brady handles the moment. I'm with Jamie. You give the ball, you keep the ball in the hands of the GOAT, the man who knows how to be there. It's been
it's going to be in his hands as he passes it off to, and he hands it to Leonard Fournette. Like he's going to turn around and he's just going to hand it to Leonard Fournette and be like, "Here you go."
You just got to hit that. You got to hit that pop pass right away.
Oh, the little touch pass. There you go.
Bring Scotty Miller or somebody on a jet and
just first play of the game. Yeah, that'll work.
Yes,
you got to keep up with the best quarterback in football, Chris.
No, you can't. You've gotten to the Super Bowl doing it a certain way. Don't completely change what you do now because
they're not completely. Have you seen Tom Brady and what this passing offense has done since the bye week? What do you mean? This is how they got here.
But you're coming out here running a gadget play in the first play of the game. Like that's not. I wouldn't do that.
I don't know if that's a gadget. I don't think a pop pass on a jet sweep's a gadget play anymore. That is a staple in a lot of these playbooks now. I'm not saying run a flea flicker or run a double receiver, a double pass.
Now
what's the difference between doing this and this? Like, it's really not that much.
Listen to this very analytical breakdown that we were getting
handoff left side. Rojo back to the line. Second.
No, I am going to bug myself.
I'm not sure.
I'm going to bug myself into Bruce. I'm going to be like, Pops, we're going to go over the top on this one. He's going to be like, no risk it, no biscuit, baby. Listen, this is what we need, Chris. We can't have running the football.
No, I'm with you. I think they should throw the ball more on first down because they have a really bad tendency of running the ball on first down, and it gets them in really bad. I mean, listen, they started that Green Bay game. Let's not forget, guys. They made like 3 or 4 third downs in a row that were 3rd and 5 or more. They put themselves in great spots offensively, and that's because they run the ball on first down a lot. It's just not a great recipe for success. I'm just going with the numbers. They run the ball a lot on first down. They're going to do it here.
All right. Me and Jamie are right. You're wrong. That's how this goes. Okay, moving on.
Wait. Can we do another coin flip? Can we do coin flip number 3 of the show?
Yeah, coin flip number 3. Let's go to it. All right, Jamie. If it is tails, you are screwed, Chris. You are.
Right, I'm gonna let that one hit the floor. All right, so it's gonna hit the floor.
It's going to be heads. This is how we get. It's how we get on the board.
I'm going to scoot back here.
Okay, Jamie's going to scoot back off the set. He's going to get the quarter. I am talking.
No.
Tails
again.
Baby.
That coin left the screen, man. No, there's a
tails, baby.
There is a conspiracy afoot. No.
Chris, I don't need to lie. No, I promise you.
No,
I do not need to lie to make fun of you.
There's a conspiracy afoot.
No,
you guys have it out against me. Because
that is true. That part's not a conspiracy.
The probability of it landing 3 times on tails, I don't think is very high. So I don't like the way that this is.
Chris, as we told you earlier, it, as I stated, never fails. So I don't understand where the disconnect is right now.
Yeah, there's a conspiracy.
Doesn't matter if it
minus 105 tails at Bet Online.
Doesn't matter. Hits the ground, hits a foot, hits Chris's head. Doesn't matter. It's going to be tails. That is the thing that matters. Chris, you have officially been vetoed out of the heads. You can't even talk about it anymore. It's
I
not
forget
allowed.
if it was a big game or if it was maybe a college football championship game where the coin didn't actually flip, and we spent like 3 days on the internet trying to figure out whether or not the bet would count. I forget what game it was.
It was definitely an NFL game.
But the
I think
coin
it was
didn't
a Super Bowl
actually
game.
like flip, and Twitter freaked out.
It went straight up in the air. It just went up and came down. And everybody was like,
that's not a flip. It doesn't count.
Are they going to redo that, or are we not doing that? And then they just went with it, and everybody was freaking out. Yeah, if that happens, people, we can't do that. 2021, not allowed to do that. Twitter will literally burn to the ground. I'm just telling you that right
you
now.
can't do that in the Super Bowl.
No chance. People will absolutely riot. There will be people outside of Raymond James 5 minutes after that happens. So please do not allow for that to happen. All right. The next one we are going to talk about is a very interesting one because it relates to penalty yards, right? And this is, if you know anything about this Buccaneers team, right, especially in the first half of the year, they're a little penalized. Right? They got a little? They've gotten penalties quite a bit. The safety, this secondary core for the Kansas City Chiefs has had their moments throughout this year where some of them haven't been called, but they've had their moments, right? In what they have had and what they've been called for, especially going up against some of these top tier receivers. So the combined penalty yards over 80.5 minus 150. So obviously, if there is any 15-yard penalties here, they start to rack up pretty quickly, right? You get to this total pretty quickly. Are you guys thinking that combined is going to go over here? Jamie, I'll let you take it first.
Chris, you got your hand up.
No, I was pointing because that's where it's going to go. It's
over?
Over.
It absolutely is going over. It is interesting, though, to kind of look at the trends. So far, the average NFL playoff games, these are accepted penalties, by the way. So offsetting doesn't matter in this case, and neither does decline penalties. But the average for these playoffs is about 61 penalty yards per game. But if you look at just Bucs and Chiefs game, that's up to about 74. But both these teams are in the 90s if you combine them for their average game during the regular season. And when they played in Week 12, 139 yards of accepted penalties between these two teams. I think with the injury issues along Kansas City's offensive line, I think the backups will get a little bit of grabby with JPP and Shaq Barrett and some of those other players. The secondary for Tampa Bay getting a little grabby with all the speed that Kansas City has out wide could be a thing. So I'm actually going to go over in this game. I know we've seen the referees kind of put their flags in their pocket aside from maybe a crucial play in the NFC Championship game, but we won't talk about that, Packers fans. But for the most part, we see that happen. We see that happen across all sports. But I think this game is going to lend itself to being a little bit more penalty filled than I think the average postseason game we have seen so far.
Yeah, Jamie, the more you throw the ball, right, the more opportunity there are for those big chunk penalties, and these teams are going to throw the ball out. We talked about it. You guys have said that the Bucs are going to throw on the first play of the game. If that's going to be an indication of the way the rest of the game is going to go, these teams are going to throw the ball a bunch. And I just need a couple of them on a drive, and then all of a sudden I'm in business. I'm really close to getting to this 80 number. So I think there's going to be a lot of grabbing, like you said, Jamie, because this Chiefs offensive line, even if Todd Bowles only sends the front four, they're going to have their work cut out for them. And if they send extra pressure, I think that's an even more of a recipe for some holding calls. And I just think the more that these two teams throw the ball, the more likelihood there are for penalties. So I will take the over as well.
And the other factor here is this, as we talk about like both teams scheming up pressure to take advantage of Kansas City's offensive line or take advantage of Brady's lack of mobility at this stage. These are two quarterbacks that the referees are hyper aware of.
And there is
jokes about what it takes to get a roughing the passer penalty on Tom Brady. We are going to get a questionable roughing the passer penalty in this game. Now, that's not a prop. I'm just telling you what's going to happen. And odds are, if it's going to happen for one of them, it's going to be on a hit on Tom Brady. I just have to tell you what history tells me. Mm-hmm. So if you want to start adding things up, guys looking at Tom Brady the wrong way about 1.5 seconds after he releases the ball is an easy 15 yards that you're going to probably get right at the top.
I just want to tell you, if there was a prop bet for Paige's blood pressure going up during a game, it would be around this specific type of thing, where they're going to call an absolutely BS call that should not be called. But if they sniff the quarterback, right, if they're even close, they're going to call it. And
we're getting controversy in this game with some sort of penalty or review. There's something that's going to happen.
It's the NFL.
Right.
Okay?
It's just a guarantee.
There is a guarantee that we are getting a catch, no catch. We're getting a out of bounds, inbounds. We're getting something stupid.
I can hear Tony Romo now. I don't know, Jim. Looks pretty close to me.
Let's bring in Gene. Gene, can you help us? And then Gene won't help us.
Yeah, and then Gene will have nothing
comes
for us.
in and toes the line for the league and just doesn't really give us a definitive answer. And we're all sitting there going, thanks, Gene, for not telling us anything because you don't want to beat up on the NFL. That's pretty much how it's going to go on Sunday. All right, this next one. Will there be an onside kick attempt? Yes, plus 190. Okay. Is there going to be a time, right, where they're going to try and catch these guys off guard maybe a little bit? Or is there going to be an opportunity at the end of the game where one team, this is the only opportunity to win the game, right? Which happens a lot, obviously. And when you're in this game, more than anything, there's more, obviously, it's the one shot to win everything. So, guys, do you think there might be an onside kick attempt? Jamie, I'll let you take it first.
I like the odds here a little bit. That's what intrigued me. This might be one of those like half unit type bets on yes at plus 190. We've seen 5 onside kicks in the postseason so far in 12 games, so 67 of them in the regular season. They don't have to recover, which is thank goodness, because nobody recovers onside kicks anymore given the new kickoff rules. But to me, I do think it's a possibility that one of these teams is up in that 8 to 10 points. 8 to 10 point range. Maybe there's a missed extra point that Chris has been alluding to all show that kind of leads to an odd score, which would allow a team late in the game to say, you know what, we need to take a chance. We need to go an onside kick here, maybe a little bit earlier than usual. I'm not expecting a Sean Payton-like call coming out of halftime or anything crazy like that. But I do think at some point in the final 5 minutes of the fourth quarter, we are going to see an onside kick for a team trying to get back in the game.
Chris?
It's so tough for me because I think the game is close, right? I have the score being less than a touchdown, and I don't see it being out of reach for one team and they need an onside kick and then they make it close late. So unless it's a scenario like Jamie mentioned where it's a Sean Payton coming out of the second half going for an onside kick, or BA just tries to surprise the Chiefs with something at some point in the game, I would go no on this one, but that's only because of my personal prediction for the game. I think Jamie's analysis is spot on. If this game is a 2-score game late and a team needs an onside kick, they're going to try it. It's the Super Bowl. It's the last game of the season, right? You don't leave it up to chance. You're going to throw every opportunity you have out there. So I get the analysis, but because of my personal prediction for the game, I will go no on this one.
Okay. Last one before we get into MVP and official picks for the game. Tom Brady rushing attempts. I love this bet. I absolutely
QB
love this
sneaks
bet.
galore here.
Okay? Old man Tom, is he gonna go in for a rushing touchdown? Is he gonna want to do one of those scenarios? I love this one. Over 1.5 minus 110. Chris, you first here.
Yeah.
Thinking old man Tom, is he gonna be in for some rushing attempts in this game? What do you think?
Old man Tom will give us 2 QB sneaks at some point. We'll get one in the middle of the field on like a 3rd or 4th and 1 to pick up a first down, and then there'll be 1st and goal or 2nd and goal from the one, and we'll get the Tom Brady sneak at the goal line. Give me the over on this one. I think we get 2.
Jamie,
I like the over on this one as well, Paige, because I look at it this way. He averaged 1.9 rushing attempts per game this season, had 2 or more in 5 of the 7 games coming out of the bye. And you know what else, Chris, counts as a rushing attempt? Victory formation.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. Love that.
So we will lead that into the, also, by the way, just also taking a knee in the halftime to not run up the clock. But either way, those are rushing attempts. So now we put in the probability of, will it take knees at the end of the game? Will it take a knee to go into halftime? Depending on if, like, let's say the Chiefs score just before half, do they be like, all right, we only got 10 seconds. We'll just take a knee, go into halftime.
It's
our infinitely long halftime and make some adjustments. All of those things count as rush attempts. I think you get at least 1 QB sneak at some point from him in this game.
Damn, I got chills when you said that he is going to go down for victory formation. I knew I was dialed in for Pops, but like it was like I could the moment I flashed in front of my face, like just thinking about it, and then the camera goes to Bruce and he's sitting there and he's so excited, like just thinking about that, I was like, damn, I hope
Blue Gatorade.
Blue
it's gonna
Gatorade.
It's gonna be lime Gatorade. Lime Gatorade.
Blue. I don't know. I liked your odds that you played, Chris, that you got a couple.
Well, I got 3.
Colors,
I have
right?
technically 3 shades of a color.
You do.
So
it's
I like my
cheating.
chances. Listen, it was an option. I didn't cheat.
I mean, you still call these Gatorades by their government name, which is just infuriating to me. But
sorry that I called one Gatorade flavor Glacier Freeze. Like, my bad. Like, sorry.
We're
lime.
Psycho stuff.
I'm sure you're talking about the flavor, not the color.
Yeah, we're worried. We're really worried about what is happening over in your listen.
Can we do the 4th coin flip here? Because we're going to do 5 on the show.
It's already.
No, come on. I want the 2 more.
No, it's just the 5 series, Chris.
This proves
You
that
lost
there's
already.
a coin
You
conspiracy.
got swept.
This
There's
proves
no
that it exists.
conspiracy.
It's a conspiracy.
305.
Yeah.
There is
Can
nothing
we
left.
put the graphic back up that said the coin conspiracy? Because that's what's currently happening right
There's
now.
no
to me
coin
on this
conspiracy.
Show.
You
There's
got
a coin.
swept.
We have one coin that left the camera shot. That we didn't see
Swept,
you,
Chris.
You could have brought in a double-sided coin. Okay.
Chris, you got swept, Chris.
Swept.
You got swept.
That's what you got,
swept you
Chris.
out. We
Swept.
swept you out, Chris.
I don't like how
You're a
close
Mets
that
fan. You should
prop
be used to
was.
that. You got
I don't like how
swept.
close that prop was there. Like I don't like how you were ready for that. Like that bothers me completely that you were just
The
prepared
fact
with
that you think that Jamie is not ready at all moments of time to troll you is
Well,
is
no, that-
really
yeah,
you
that's
should
fair.
know better.
That's
It's a
You
part-time
should
job in and of
know
itself,
better.
Chris.
It's what Jamie lives for at this moment in time. All right, we have a couple minutes left here, guys. I want you to give me your MVP picks, and then we'll do official picks. So, Jamie, you first. MVP. Who will it be?
I'm going to be boring, but I'm going to go with the guy that's at plus 200 right now. And it's Tom Brady. We know there's a quarterback bias in the MVP conversation, both in the regular season and in the Super Bowl. We saw it last year. I do not believe Patrick Mahomes, as good as he was, did not deserve to be last year's big game MVP. That should have gone to Damian Williams, and I will go to my grave believing that. But we know what doesn't matter what we believe. What matters what the voters are going to say. I can't foresee a scenario that the Buccaneers win this game, and it's not because of Tom Brady. I don't see like a multiple pick six effort. I don't see Ronald Jones or Leonard Fournette taking over one of these backfields and getting 20 carries for 150 yards and 3 touchdowns. I think this is going to be, if they win this football game, it's because Tom Brady was ever so slightly able to outduel Patrick Mahomes. And if he does that, he's going to be the MVP. And as you showed last year with that Mahomes, you could throw a couple picks and still get it. So I'm going to go with Tom Brady here. I know it's boring. It's not very exciting. If I want to go with a more longer shot option, or if I want to go something at least with double digit odds, and if you believe Kansas City is going to win, I do like Travis Kelce as somebody at least at 10 or 12 to 1, depending on when you can get him, because he's so freaking good, man. And he's going to have a major impact in this game, win, lose, or draw.
Chris, who's your MVP pick?
So listen, Jamie said that he can't see it being anybody on the Bucs that isn't Tom Brady. I'll give you a person on the Bucs that I think it will be that isn't Tom Brady. I'm going Mike Evans. He's plus 4,000 on Bet Online, and here's why. This award sometimes doesn't come down to the stat sheet. It comes down to, are you the guy that makes the memorable moment in the Super Bowl? And I have this being a very, very close game that could come down to who has the ball last and who has the last possession. And I think Mike Evans catches that game-winning touchdown to put Tampa Bay over the top. Spoiler alert for my official pick for the game. But I will go with Mike Evans because I think he has a big enough game, and I think he has the defining catch or catches that lead this team to victory.
Okay. I love that you picked Mike Evans. That's why I was excited for you to give us the official pick that you have. I want the full game analysis, guys. This is your last pick. You got to make your official pick on who is winning, who is losing the game, and who you are picking as far as betting goes. So, Jamie, you first. -3, +3 first, right? You got to pick the bet first, and then who's winning the game. Take it away.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Bucs here to win and cover. I've talked about this all week. It's going to be incredibly close. I think it's a 3-point game. Look, the reality is this: if the Kansas City Chiefs and Patrick Mahomes play their best, there is no team in the National Football League that can beat them. And I have to acknowledge that as I'm picking the underdog here. If everything clicks for Kansas City, no team in the league can match them. But I think some of the injuries on the offensive line, and I think just how hot Tom Brady has been playing this year is just going to be just enough to get them over the top. Because if you're going to beat Kansas City, which not many teams do, you're going to have to do 2 things. You're going to have to get pressure with rushing 4, period. You're going to have to be able to manufacture pressure without blitzing, 1, and then be able to score 30-plus points. There are not many teams that have been able to do those 2 things together for a single game. Given the injuries on the offensive line for Kansas City and how well Shaq Barrett and JPP have been playing in recent weeks, they have the formula that can have success, which is barely squeaking by Kansas City. Like, that is how good they are. I think things are lined up for them to do that. And I think they can get above 30 points. I think they can get enough pressure on Mahomes to maybe keep him to 28. Maybe only keep them to 4 touchdowns there. And I think if they do that, they have a chance. So I think putting those 2 things together, I think that's how they're going to get it done here. And look, they're at home. Look, we can call this a neutral site game all we want. It's not a neutral site game. The Buccaneers are playing at home. They're sleeping in their own beds all week. They are using their locker rooms. They are getting to the stadium and waking up and doing all the things that they would normally do for a normal game day. that is a little bit of an advantage. You stick all of that together, and I think Tampa Bay can squeak by Kansas City at the very end. I don't think it's a game-winning field goal, but I think the end result is 3 points.
Okay. Chris, same question. Give me who you picking from a gambling perspective. You taking the Bucks as an underdog, and who are you picking to win the game?
I will take the Bucks in the 3 points, and that's because I think the Bucks win the football game. I have them winning this game 34-28. Like Jamie said, you may be able to slow down the Chiefs enough to where they only score 4 touchdowns. That's exactly what I have the Bucks doing, keeping them only to 28 points. Listen, this team's going to have to get pressure without rushing more than 4, but this is not the team that we saw in Week 12 try to create pressure on Patrick Mahomes. They're healthier. They got Vita Vea back, which should be able to help them kind of scheme defensively a little bit more. And I think the loss on the offensive line that the Chiefs have had allows Todd Bowles to trust his guys, the 4 that he has up there, to get after the quarterback and create some pressure. And I'll throw a stat out there for you, Paige and Jamie. The Chiefs average 43 plus yards on their drives offensively on average. If they start with the ball at the 25 after a kickoff, if you give them their average, they're all of a sudden in field goal range. That is going to be a key statistic. How many times can the Bucks stall out drives? They don't have to do it every time. They don't even have to do it the majority of the time. They just have to do it enough. And I'm talking maybe 3 times during this game to just stymie this offense enough to where they give Tom Brady the ammunition and the ability to stay in this football game and keep it close. I think they do. I think they're too talented on defense. They have a bunch of capable playmakers on the offensive side of the ball. They also have Tom freaking Brady, who somehow just finds a way to get things done in the Super Bowl. And I don't have a quantifiable number for that. He just figures out a way to make this all work in the Super Bowl. I think they do it. I think it's close, but I think the Bucs are your Super Bowl champions.
That unquantifiable thing you're talking about is that it factor, right? We talk about it a lot in sports. You don't know what it is. You can't. It's intangibles, whatever. It's the it factor. It's when you get to that moment, you trust that guy. And Mahomes, we trust him too, but we haven't seen it for quite as long. I've been watching Brady do it for 2 decades. It's a little bit different when you're talking about a guy who's 25 years old versus a guy who's 43 years old, and he's been to 10 of these, right? I think it's a little bit different when you're talking about the clutch it factor, and it just kind of seems like this Buccaneers team is the team of destiny this year with how things have gotten them to this point, playing in the first Super Bowl at home, coming in as a team that had to go on the road all the way to get themselves here. So I'm going with the Bucs. I think you take the 3 points, and they are going to get a victory at home at Raymond James, and the Arians family and everybody in Tampa is going to enjoy themselves on Sunday night. I want to say thank you to everybody that joined us. We've reached the end of our show for tonight. We'll be back on Sunday. As has been mentioned a bunch, you're going to want to check out Brinks.tv, right? That is how you win. You have to register to win. If you want to win crypto, right? If you want to be like Chris, you want to win $1,000, you want to have the opportunity to go, you know what? I don't want the cash. I want crypto.
I'm doing well with regular coins, Paige.
Yeah. You want to play the odds. You want to see if you can win big. That's your opportunity to do it. We've got Kill Cliff. We're giving away a ton of great prizes. So the only way to do that, as I said, is go to Brinks.tv to be sure to check that out. And on behalf of myself, Jake, Jamie, and Chris, who subbed in, thanks to everybody who watched Against the Spread this year. It's been a hell of a fun year. Thanks to everybody behind the scenes, Courtney, and all of everybody from the production side that's helped us do this for the first time this year. Really enjoyed engaging with everybody, really enjoyed breaking down all the picks, and man, it feels good that we got the whole season in. So really thankful for everybody making this happen, and I hope you guys enjoyed the big game on Sunday.
All right, joining me now is one of the smartest and best-looking former players in the NFL. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Eric Wood. There he is. How you doing?
I'm doing great. That's the first time I've ever been given that intro, so I truly appreciate it.
That's right. Well, I like to do that. I'm a giver.
Yeah.
All right. So Eric, you've been around the game a long time. What's your take on this game in particular? Because obviously we have these 2 amazing quarterbacks, amazing coaches, just amazing teams. What's your take?
I'll start with the Buccaneers. You have Tom Brady. I mean, probably the best of all time, the best to ever do it. I got to witness that firsthand. I played against him 18 times in my career. We beat him once when he was suspended for Deflategate. So I'll say we didn't even beat Brady. We beat the Patriots. We beat them once when they rested their starters in week 17 for the second half. And we beat them one time straight up in 2011 in Buffalo early in the season with everything on the line. So we got him once. So I got to see him up close and personal. There's probably I should hate Tom Brady, but there's probably no one I respect more in sports than Tom Brady, because he has disciplined himself more than any other athlete that I've ever heard of. I'm not going to pretend like I know of everybody's sacrifice. So tremendous respect. Hard to ever go against Brady in any game, especially a big game. When you flip it over, I cover the Buffalo Bills now. And when you look at the Kansas City Chiefs, I thought the Buffalo Bills would win that game. Now, I thought their first 2 playoff games were a coin flip for the Bills. And then going against the Chiefs, I saw Patrick Mahomes go out with a head injury. I knew he'd be back, but sitting in concussion protocol a week with turf toe, I thought there's no way he's mobile enough. Mike Remmers, the right tackle, was out. He was going against Jerry Hughes, the Bills' best pass rusher. I thought the pressure will get there. It didn't. The Bills were up 9-0, and Patrick Mahomes scrambles around. He's got a guy draped on him, throws the ball 25 yards down the field to Kelsey sitting in the middle of the field, and I said, uh-oh, this doesn't look good. Patrick Mahomes is full speed, ready to roll. He actually looked better. You know, turf toe is one of those deals where it needs time to rest, months. He'll be fine for the spring. But I would assume I assumed it would have hobbled him really bad against the Bills, just even kind of adding on and piling on. But it didn't. So what do I make of this game? You got probably the best skill group in the league with the most creative play calling in Kansas City. I'll take them to go back-to-back.
All right, you're going to pick Kansas City. All right, we're going to put up a poll for our Brinks TV audience. Everybody can weigh in on whether or not you agree with Eric. Do you agree that Kansas City is going to go back-to-back? Go ahead and interact with the poll, and let's see what the audience has to say. Eric, listen, you played for a storied franchise, right? And arguably the Bills are one of the greatest NFL franchises of all time. I mean, it's insane what the Bills have been able to accomplish, but they just haven't had that one final little thing. What's your sort of theory on what's prevented that?
They're just cursed, No,
that's right.
Yeah.
It's voodoo.
Yeah, there's something about the Bills stadium. It's actually built like most NFL stadiums are either built north, south, east, west. It's so the sun hits a certain way. The Bills is kind of cat a corner because there's a cemetery that they didn't want to build on back in the day. They said maybe it's the cemetery that but I'm very good friends with a lot of those early 90s Bills that made it to 4 straight Super Bowls. And those guys, like, although it hurts them, like, they're so proud of their accomplishment to be able to make it back that many times in a row. And when you look at Super Bowl losers, the people who get defeated in the Super Bowl, most of them don't even make the playoffs the next week. They made it back to the big game. They got up off the mat so many times. So to your point, it's a storied franchise. I love the fact that it seems like the trajectory of the Buffalo Bills is onward and upward right now.
Right. So here's an interesting aspect of the Bills. They've got Josh Allen now, and I did tons of analysis with Trent Dilfer, who actually is going to be joining us on Sunday on Brinks TV. And I said to Trent, look, that you've got Darnold, you got Rosen, you have Mayfield, Jackson, Allen. I picked Allen as the gem of that crop only because I felt like he could go anywhere and kind of fit in. If you had to run a lot, if you had to throw a lot, he seemed the most versatile to me. What is it that you see?
Yeah, I actually got to meet Josh Allen for the first time at the Masters in 2018. So prior to the NFL draft, I met him down at the Masters. My career had just ended from the neck injury. And I had told Brandon Beane when I got back, I said, look, I'm fine. You guys can go in any direction you want, but I'll be upset if you draft Josh Allen because that's a dude I would love to snap to. Like, I would have loved to be able to pour into a guy like Josh Allen. He's a guy's guy. I watched him command a room at 21 years old around a bunch of alpha male quarterbacks, linemen, whatever it may be down at the Masters. And I just kind of got that vibe. But his skill set is incredible. It's off the charts. He would have been a sports science phenom if you could have judged arm strength, athleticism, and all that Josh Allen brings to the table. Now, when he came into the league, he was so used to putting the team on his back at Wyoming. Goes to a junior college before that. It's taken him a while to break that, but he goes from last in the league in completion percentage 2018, last in 2019, to fourth this year. Something clicked, and he got rid of those really bad plays.
Yeah, it's just insane. I'm going to put up another poll, and I want you all to agree or disagree with me. Do you think Josh Allen is the best quarterback in his draft class? Remember, there was Baker, Lamar, Darnold, Rosen. Those are really the big ones. So do you agree or disagree with me? Is Josh Allen the best quarterback? Go ahead and vote on that. And I want to tee you up here, Eric, because on Brinks TV, we are the ultimate interactive platform. And on Sunday, we're going to be giving away $1,000 a minute for every minute of the game. We're going to have everyone participating in predictive gaming. So what do we think is going to happen on this drive? Who's going to catch the first pass? All kinds of really great stuff. Trent Dilfer, Sage Steele, Ray Lewis is going to be dropping in. What are your plans on Sunday?
You tell me, where's the Brinks truck at with all this cash? You tell me where to be. I'm actually going – I pivoted a little bit. I was going to be down in Tampa, and I was going to do my normal work, a little bit of play, and all of that. And then all my stuff turned virtual. And I said, man, it's pretty selfish for me to go to Tampa and just hang with Ryan Fitzpatrick and his 7 kids without my wife and kids. So we are pivoting and going to Key Largo this weekend. So we'll be just south of Tampa watching the game from
Well,
there.
if you have an internet connection, then I want you to join Brinks TV with everybody else. Are you willing to dial up and give away some money to everyone?
I'll do my best.
That was a very weak commitment. I need to read between. I don't need to read between the lines. You need to say, yes, I will dial in for a minute. All I'm asking for is a minute, $1,000 a minute.
We'll make that happen. Just make sure the Brinks team calls the Ocean Reef Club. Get me all set up.
I will. All right. So I wanted to do some quick trivia. Let's put some trivia questions up and see if you guys can beat Eric Wood on this. And I'm going to ask him all Buffalo Bills trivia, and let's see how he does. Ready? Here we go. What was the first season for the Buffalo Bills in the American Football League? First season. Here are your choices. 58, 59, 60, or 61.
You want me to answer out loud now?
You need to answer out loud. Everybody else is going to be pushing the button. You all see that. What was the first season for the Buffalo Bills in the American Football League? 1958, 1959, 1960, or 1961?
I'll take 58.
Wow. The Buffalo Bills were established in 1959 as the 8th team and the charter member of the AFL, and they saw their first action in 1960. The answer is 1960. Eric Wood. You know what that means? You know what that means? You're 0-1.
I was going to say, am I booted already?
No, I'm going to let you hang in there for a little bit here. Because I like you. And I think you're devastatingly good looking. It's the second time I've said that. You're just good looking, awesome to be around. So here's the next question for you. Which team was Marv Levy head coach of right before he was coaching the Bills? Do you want me to give you your choices?
Yes, please.
Here we go. Your choices are the Oakland Raiders, the Arizona Cardinals, the Miami Dolphins, or the Kansas City Chiefs?
Give me the Chiefs.
The Chiefs! He's a winner! He's a winner! Woohoo! You know what? Because you won, we're going to send you a free case of Kill Cliff. Whoever just answered that question, you're in a drawing now for a free case of Kill Cliff. I'm going to send you Kill Cliff, the clean energy drink. Courtney's going to get your information, and we're going to send it out to you because that was clutch.
Well, I was thinking I could eliminate the Raiders because I think they were the LA Raiders at the time, correct?
Yep. That's right.
So it became like a 1 out of 3 shot.
That's right. That's right. Well, listen, we were just trying to trip you up. He can't trip you up. That's for sure. So, listen, Eric, I appreciate you joining us. I really want you to join us on Sunday to help give away some money. We're giving away $1,000 a minute every minute. So you've got the Chiefs. Give us a score. What do you think it is?
I think Vegas has got the over-under 59.5. Those are usually pretty accurate. Give me the Chiefs. We'll go 30-24. Chiefs win.
30-24. All right, putting up a poll. Anybody agree with that? 30-24. How strongly do you agree or disagree with that? Eric, thank you so much for being a great sport and coming on, and I hope to see you on Sunday.
Yeah, my pleasure. Let's make that happen.
Being a pro fighter, the way I look at my training, do usually twice a day sessions, 5 times a week, and we finish on Saturday just one session. We do a lot of different type of exercise from a lot of different martial arts. It takes a lot on the body, so they say as hard as we train, that hard need to recover. So every tool that they have, I'm using. I've been using a lot, the freeze sleeve a lot to help me a lot, especially after training, because we gotta prevent those small micro injuries that we have to don't let it get big. So the free sleeve just helped me big time with those. I love the free sleeve because it's no excuse for me. I just go out there, I put it on, 20 minutes, that's it. Put on the fridge again. Whenever I need to use it again, it'll be cold, it'll be ready to go and take it, put it on, done deal.
When your mask comes off, your breath comes out. Make sure it doesn't stink. Stay healthy and fresh. Soul and science. Immune Fresh. The all-natural breath mint. Vitamin D3, vitamin C, zinc, Wellmune. Save yourself, save us all from your breath. Go to immunefresh.com.